Hey, Triple Cross gang. Welcome to the show. I am one of your hosts, Casey, at Niners_fanman, here with the one, the only, John, at Triple Cross John Coyle. John, how you doing today?
Doing good. I was just thinking. I don't know if I love the underscore. I mean,
it's
you are the
there.
Niners fan, man, now, and you can't have it without the underscore. But it's so much such a mouthful. You know what I mean? Niners
maybe
fan, man.
maybe I look to get the Triple Cross Casey handle at some point. We'll see about it.
Could, or you could all. Dude, what I'm saying is like maybe just reach out to the Niners fan, man, and be like, how much do you want for this handle? And
Yeah,
then maybe
bro,
we'll just pay for it.
hand it over.
Yeah, you're not using it, so use it or sell it, I guess.
Right. Well, that's a topic that I should consider, but I'll consider it on another day. Appreciate the feedback, and I'll just do my best there to operate around that feedback you gave me.
It's in your world now. You gotta just keep your head on a swivel out there.
It is.
We'd react.
It is in my world. In our world, also for today and for the viewers today, we're going to be doing a mulligan on our mock draft. We kind of got thrown into the deep end a little bit. We didn't prepare much for it. We kind of forgot the format, if we're being honest with ourselves, at the beginning of the last mock draft. Yeah. And today we're going to hit it again. No daps today, so it'll just be me and John doing that mock draft. We have some other fun stuff in store later. We'll talk some NBA hoops. We've got some fun games to play there. And we'll talk a little news in both leagues as well, NFL and NBA. So yeah, we'll also be giving away sports memorabilia gift cards at dapsports.com. We might do that during the show, might wait until after the show. Depends on the likes on the video. We'll give away a $25 gift card for every 10 likes on the video while we're live. So if we hit 20 likes, that means we'll be giving away at least 2 gift cards. So we'll give away one on the show if that happens. So hit the like button. And John, what else do we need to tell the people before we get into this mock draft?
I think that's it, man. Like the video, and we'll give you stuff. That's how we do things here. I was trying to figure out, like, somebody asked me the other day, like, why do people watch you guys? Because there's so many people who have like sports podcasts, and I'm like, mostly because we give them shit. Oh my gosh, 3 minutes. made it 3 minutes.
Hey man, we'll never make it that 10-minute period, I don't think.
Mostly because we give them things. That's why. And the guy's like, now it makes sense. The podcast makes sense to me. It was a good pitch.
Yeah.
What's up, Miguel? What's up, Atticus Opens Sports Cards? That's dope. You know Daps? Is that how you found us, through Daps? Because we're giving away Daps gift cards for every 25 likes on the video.
Yep. I already did the spiel, but it seems like we're getting a little flood here. It seems like our notification took a minute to go out. Some people are finally getting in. Drop a like on the video. For every 10 likes, we're giving away a $25 gift card to Daps Sports, where you can get sports memorabilia of any kind, really. I'll just throw that out there. Feels accurate to say.
Mitch just wants to know if you won. Nobody won yet, guy. So just hang around. You hang around, you might win. Like the video. We gotta like be close to 10. Yeah,
we're already at 11. Actually, I see 11 likes on the video already, so we're definitely giving away one. We're at 12. Holy 12!
If we get to 20, then we're doing one right then. Right when we get to 20.
Yep. So let's get the video to 20 likes, and we'll do a giveaway just as soon as that happens. But first, okay, actually, let me not get ahead of myself. I'm really excited for this mock draft. That's one of my favorite things to do. But I do want to talk about some stuff before we get to the mock draft. A little bit of news as people are coming in. NFL, it's been happening all offseason into this preseason now. The discussion is all about the running backs,
the RBs.
About how they're not being appreciated, not getting paid enough. Today we had kind of what I thought was a funny thing. It's not very typical. I get a lot of notifications on my phone about player news, and today I got an alert that Kareem Hunt signing with the Saints. Hey, congrats to Kareem Hunt. He's signing with the Saints.
Yay, Kareem. What does that mean?
Then I got
Kamara? I don't know.
Yeah, well, Alvin Kamara had a 3-game suspension given to him just last week, so it kind of makes sense.
His draft stock, his fantasy draft stock went up with only a 3-game suspension, I think.
Oh, for sure it did, because it was very ominous. We didn't know, and and Alvin Kamara kind of approaching the golden years of his career for sure. So it makes sense to go after a guy like Kareem Hunt, not considered generally a starter in the league anymore. What's that?
He's a ripe old 24.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's had a lot of tread, like not a lot of tread left on the tires, probably. I think he's older than 24. That feels too young. But anyway, it makes sense to go after a guy like Hunt. He's like a strong 2 in a running back room anywhere in the league. Maybe not a 1 anywhere, but depending on who you are. But after that, about an hour later, I got another alert on my phone, John. You'll never believe. It said, Kareem Hunt not signing with the Saints. So what do we make of that? I don't know. In that same alert, it said that instead of signing with the Saints today, like it was already reported that he had, because that first alert did not say likely to sign, did not say going to sign. It said Kareem Hunt signs with the Saints.
Signs.
And the
I
next
like how
one
it was
said
signs, not signed.
Right. And the second one, yeah, instead of signing with the Saints, he's going to the Colts to visit with them instead. So who knows where he ends up? The Colts obviously have their own situation going on with Jonathan Taylor demanding a trade. So makes a lot of sense for them to be looking in on him too.
Can I ask you something really quick?
Yeah.
Do you remember the source that said signs with the Saints like that? Do you remember for sure? Because to me, you know what it feels like to me is like just a little bit of like, I want to break it reporting, where somebody didn't really know, but they're like, but I'm first. I don't have to be right if I'm first. And they hoped, right? Is a visit. It's happening. I think he's probably going to, but they just didn't really have it locked up, but they wanted to break it. So I get it. It's a risk.
I already clicked on it. It might've been Bleacher Report. Might've been like, I don't know. I don't know where it was. Honestly, I don't want to like throw anybody under the bus, but I definitely saw it. That is definitely how it was portrayed.
Yeah, Sean Young said he saw it on ESPN, but he can't remember who reported it. That it's what it feels like to me, is like somebody's trying to break it, and they're guessing the gun, as we'd say in track and field.
And which you asked me, is that like normal in the NFL? And it's really not. This is usually not the case when something is reported like that pretty definitively. I think it was Bleacher Report too, Sean. Usually it's accurate. Usually it is. So it is kind of noteworthy that. Seems like there's a little bit of controversy around this. Obviously, the Saints want him at a certain price, but he's thinking maybe I can get a better price because there's a lot of RB controversy everywhere right now. So that begs a couple of questions to me just to wrap up this RB discussion before we get to the mock draft. But I'm not trying to beat this running back thing to death, but it does beg the question.
We don't want to beat any running backs to death over here.
If Kareem Hunt, Jonathan Taylor are both in limbo right now, they could I guess potentially play for any team in the NFL at this point. Those two guys. It brings to mind another guy who's kind of floating in limbo right now. The only other guy I really think is still at this point, Josh Jacobs, who's holding out from the Las Vegas Raiders preseason training camp time here. He hasn't reported. A lot of talk around him. He really wants out in LV too, because it's the same situation as Taylor with the Colts, just not being appreciated, not given the extension he wants. So he says, send me somewhere. Let me go somewhere where they will give me a semi long-term contract, because I don't think the RBs are asking for anything crazy. They just want more than a 1-year deal in case they get some kind of crazy injury. So it's been reported that Josh Jacobs could be linked to the Chiefs and the Broncos as potential suitors. That's what I've seen reported today. So if Josh Jacobs leaves to one of those teams, could Las Vegas look into trading for Jonathan Taylor, maybe, since he's unhappy in Indianapolis, or even signing Kareem Hunt themselves, since he's kind of this guy looking to be the scab replacing one of these starters maybe on these squads? What do you think, John?
It feels like running back musical chairs to me, and in the sense that none of the chairs actually seem better than another chair. It's just it almost seems like they're doing it out of spite, right? Like, will Jonathan Taylor really get like a better deal with the Saints, or would he really get a better deal with the Raiders? It's like, let's just take us 3 and flip us around, because just to prove a point to our team, but that won't prove a point to their team because you've got 3 elite running backs, really. So it's like, do the Saints care if they get Alvin Kamara, or if they get Jonathan Taylor, or if they get Josh Jacobs? Maybe a little, but in the grand scheme of things, not that much, right? All 3 of them are like great options at that RB spot. So to me, it feels like they're just doing it to spite, but at the end of the day, it's like, we know we need to play football. I just don't want to play it here just to make a point. but you're not really making the point if the three of you guys just kind of play musical chairs. You know what I mean? You'd actually have to hold out in order to make the point, but they're not going to do that because they have a limited amount of time in their life to play football. So
Yeah, I would say that as far as the Saints go, Kamara only getting the 3-game suspension. They're not looking for another bell cow guy. Taylor, Jacobs, they're not going to be involved in New Orleans at all. Kareem Hunt's probably the highest caliber player they're looking to sign at the RB position. But as far as Las Vegas goes, I mean, they already have Jacobs right now, in theory, even as long as he does report at some point. Could they look to JT maybe if he's unhappy in Indianapolis? I think no. The Raiders are unwilling to give a long-term contract to Jacobs. I don't know why they'd acquire another guy looking for a long-term deal, holding out for that.
I guess that's what I mean by it, is it doesn't seem like they're actually going to get a better deal. Like JT's not getting a better deal there, really.
The big development that I actually do see today, though, is the news with Hunt signing with the Saints. Then, hold on. Actually, I assume it's probably something like the agent goes, hold on, we got another team on the line here. Let's hold off on signing that contract. Let's see what Indy will offer. And I think as long as Josh Jacobs is still holding out, I'll always say the Raiders are maybe in on him too. Kareem Hunt, I think, is that running back. He's going to be the real life manifestation of the plan B for these teams until he goes. Then it might be the next best guy who's not quite starter level. You don't have to pay insane money to. Right now, he illustrates what the RB market is. It's like, do we really need to pay this bell cow guy, or can we get a guy like Kareem Hunt for way less? And he's just happy to get a contract for a year. We won't have to deal with the drama in the clubhouse, all kinds of things. So that's where I think the RB market is right now. The people who are really holding out hope for the running backs to get what they deserve, whatever that means, and all those things. I think you're holding your breath and you're going to suffocate, honestly, before anything happens for them. I think it's likely that there's some kind of middle ground reached for Jonathan Taylor and the Colts or Josh Jacobs and the Raiders. That could happen, sure. But I think it's going to look a lot more like the running back conceding than the team at the end of the day.
In football in general, there's too much depth at the position. There's too much depth in the league. So is the whole league going to strike for the running backs? No. Why would they? Quarterbacks want to play football. And then furthermore, the people who aren't the top tier guys are like, I spent my whole life trying to play in the NFL and I've got maybe 2 years to do it. I don't want to spend one of the years striking. So not everybody's ever going to be on the same page. It's it's really only these top tier running backs that are kind of getting screwed. And it would be the Players Association is the Players Association, not the Running Backs Association. So it's these guys are kind of getting screwed, but you guys would be dragging down the entire league if we struck over this. So honestly, it's the only way it gets reset is if elite running backs are actually willing to hold out and not play. And then maybe someone at some point gets a little bit of a reset in the contract, but it's not going to be huge either. I don't think they're not going to get to reset to the level of receivers.
Definitely. I agree with that. So that's going to wrap up our little news portion here. One last plug. We're at 18 likes from what I see right now on the video. Two more and we'll do a giveaway. We're going to move into our mock draft portion of this episode. If we notice that we hit 20 likes, during which we will fit in a spin just as quickly as we can. I'm going to pull this up,
I was hoping
John.
we'd hit it before. I put a comment in there. I was hoping we'd hit it before, but we're not. So let's just move. Let's just do it.
So this is going to go similar to the last time. Last time we had DAPS. We're calling this one our mock draft mulligan. John and I are going to try to draft a little bit better teams, a little bit more aware of what we're doing on this episode in the format. A lot of people don't. You might have done some mock drafts yourself. It is less common to do super flex mocks, particularly because not a lot of platforms really offer that format. And it's still kind of touch and go. This time I made one little change. I'll explain that as we get into this, John.
You made a change?
Only so that the viewers could see between the flex. I didn't like that it just said flex for all the different positions. So I put 3 receivers and a tight end so we wouldn't have to deal with that kind of receiver tight end combo. Shouldn't really affect the draft at all. This is what our rosters will look like. QB, RB, wide receiver, tight end, flex, and then super flex. John, you're on the clock at number 1. Draft starts in 5 seconds. You should have plenty of time for your pick. You get the number 1 pick. We can take our time here. I extended it to, I think we could potentially have 10 minutes per pick. We're not going to take 10 minutes. I just didn't want us to feel rushed because we know the computer
it's not going to
go so fast.
Yeah. This means it's not going to come back around to me. Like, this sucks because I actually hate in a super flex league. I hate the number 1 pick. I do not want it.
So you're gonna have number 1 pick, number 20 pick, and the number 21 pick.
Exactly.
Then all those evens, a 40, 41, 60, 61. It's having that first pick or the 10th pick, or if you're in a 12-team league, a 12th pick, having one of those bookend positions, it can be a curse if you look at it like that, but it can also be a blessing if you usually you're a little bit more of a veteran to know how to like operate really well around there. But you can really put the pressure on teams too, because you could double up on a certain position and really snap a market right away.
The reason I don't like it is because I don't want to draft a QB right now, but in a super flex league I kind of have to, or they're going to be gone. Basically, all the elite ones are going to be gone by pick 20. So now I'd have to like not draft my RB first overall. Like I want to draft CMC, but if I draft CMC, I will not get an elite QB. I think so. I'm gonna go with
86% of the experts at Fantasy Pros say you should draft Justin Jefferson first.
Right, and I disagree with that because I will not get an elite quarterback then. So I'm going with Pat Mahomes. That's what we
Very
did.
nice. Very nice. John takes Pat Mahomes. We can look at the draft board here really quick. John takes Pat Mahomes. Justin Jefferson comes off next. Then Josh Allen. 2 quarterbacks in the first 3 picks. If you're looking at this, like, hey, how are
you need one
2
zoom on
quarterbacks?
that, by the way.
How are 2 quarterbacks gone in the first 3 picks of this fantasy draft? Well, this is a super flex league, meaning that any team can play 2 quarterbacks. They have quarterback, RB, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, meaning running back, receiver, tight end, then a super flex, meaning running back, receiver, tight end, or a second quarterback. So that's why we aren't drafting a bench today, just like on our last mock draft. I'm on the clock here at the number 4 spot. You know, I would just be going against myself if I didn't go on brand here. In these types of leagues,
easy for you.
This is not like a traditional league. I don't always go RB first here. I am thrilled to see the number 1 RB left on the board. But just to say here, these experts agree that I should be drafting Jamar Chase here. That would be a great pick. Jalen Hurts, maybe a good pick too here, just to try to get one of those QBs early in the top tier. But you knew where I was always going to go with this pick if he was here. At number 4, I didn't know I'd have a shot, but we're taking CMC, and we'll see how the draft goes after that. After CMC, another running back goes in Austin Eckler, followed by 2 receivers in Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase. So far, just complete studs. Jalen Hurts kind of rounding out that top tier quarterbacks. Most people see those 3, Mahomes, Allen, and Hurts, as the kind of unanimous top 3 in fantasy, followed by Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. That first round, this is what I love about Superflex, John. These first 10 players that went off the board, I think you could make a case for all of them that they are the best player in football. When you play
that is nice about Superflex. Yeah,
right. When you play regular fantasy football, I don't think you can make that case. There's quarterbacks don't go this high, and quarterbacks they also score way too much. But Superflex really levels out the playing field across the positions. So that's one of the reasons it feels the most like real football to me.
Yeah. I think that's why it's good for beginners too, honestly.
Yeah. You don't even need to learn the old school way of playing fantasy anymore. If you're just jumping into it, might as well learn this way. This is what I think a lot of people see as the future of fantasy football formats. So just a quick recap here. We're going to take our time a little bit more on this one as opposed to the last draft. So after Kelce, Saquon is taken by Team 10. So they start with a nice little pairing there with Kelce and Barkley. Then Jackson is the 4th quarterback. Diggs from Buffalo, the receiver. Bijan Robinson, potential superstar rookie running back from Atlanta. CeeDee Lamb from Dallas. And Joe Burrow, the 5th quarterback, off the board already. And I haven't taken one. So for me, I know how it felt last time around that I was running out of quarterbacks. I didn't love that feeling. We also have to draft a ton of receivers here. So those are the 2 positions I'm definitely looking at the most right now. There's definitely one from each position that speak to me here. Big time. But I think just based off of what we did last time, I'm specifically trying to do something different. So I'm going to take a quarterback here a little bit earlier than I did last time around. I'm going to take Justin Fields. I think it's going to be a good year for him. He's going to have a nice baseline just with his rushing ability. He's going to run for enough yards to where he's not going to be a totally terrible pick. He's very secure in his starting position on the Bears. He's not going to get overtaken by somebody else behind him. And I do think that there's some reason to believe he's going to take a step forward in passing this year. So I take Fields there to go along with Christian McCaffrey. Derrick Henry goes off the board, then A.J. Brown next. And John's back on the clock at the 20 pick, last pick of the second round. What are you thinking, John?
I know I have 20 and 21 here. And I know I'm going to take a running back with one of them. So here's the thing. The grade that the system is going to give me for this is not high, but I mean, both the top two rushers. Oh no, Derrick Henry's off the board now.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Jacobs is still on the board and Jonathan Taylor is still on the board, both because their situations are unknown. So I'm for sure taking one of them. I'll get graded down by the system for this, by like Fantasy Pros. I'll get graded down for that. But I just disagree. Again, this is a point where I just generally disagree. They're going to land somewhere and they're going to do great wherever they land. So,
I mean, are you considering, before you take any action here, are you considering doubling up on them, just taking both those guys, saying like they're going to land somewhere?
That. Yeah, I'm also considering that.
That would make your RBs kind of an afterthought here. I know that's a general strategy you don't mind either, getting those running backs while they're still available. But we do have to draft a ton of receivers.
There's a lot of receivers. That's the only thing that's stopping me from doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the dilemma, but we're here for it. Let's see.
I mean, I'm not passionate. There's very few running backs left that I'm passionate about. I don't know how far they'll fall. And I think there's kind of a plethora of receivers. So I'm going to take Josh Jacobs for sure. And then I'm going to buy myself a little more time with that pick.
All right. John takes Josh Jacobs to round out the second round. We are above 20 likes on the video. We're at 21 likes. So we are going to do a spin after this draft. So I'm going to make the call out to everybody right now. Head on over to playback.tv/triplecross. That link is in the video description right now. That is our private community, kind of our VIP community. We only grab the users from over there to put onto a wheel to potentially win our gift card giveaways. So head on over to Playback right now. Link in the description. We'll get on making that wheel, and we'll spin it right after this draft wraps up. Shouldn't take too long. And then we'll have another one after the episode as well. Maybe even more than that. Let's keep liking the video. If we get it to 30, we'll do 2 more giveaways afterwards. Back to John on the clock with the 21st pick of the draft. What are you thinking, John?
There's a big tier gap in receivers right now.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like there's one receiver left of like a tier, Devontae Adams, and then I think there's a tier gap after that. Sure. And if I don't take him, I mean, he's definitely not going to fall to me again. So, I mean, I kind of dislike this strategy. I like to like clear a position early and like be elite at that position and then just worry about the other positions throughout the draft. But I'm not doing that in this draft. And I'm just like taking one top tier person from each position group, basically. And I'm going to go with Devontae Adams here.
I would say
I technically have 2 Raiders now, honestly.
Yeah,
I have all of the offense that the Raiders do, assuming Josh Jacobs stays with the Raiders.
So, being the guy who I know I've just done more mock drafts, I would say your start here, for this format, this actually makes a lot of sense. I think it's what a lot of people would say is the right kind of start, a very balanced approach, because now you can let the draft come to you, especially at the spot you're at. You're at the mercy of everybody else, kind of. So being balanced, now you don't know what it's going to look like when the draft comes back to you in 18 picks after your last pick. So you got to be ready for anything. And I will just say, hey, if you're already stacked up on those Raiders, maybe potentially is that second quarterback. We're not drafting a bench quarterback today. In Superflex, it's very common for teams to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. We're not drafting bench, so you could only have 2 today. But maybe look for a late round flyer on Jimmy G. If you're already making the bet that the Raiders offense is moving, then it makes sense that Jimmy G is going to be a piece of that. So common strategy there. Take it or leave it, but he probably wouldn't go unless you do take him. I believe you'll either have the last pick. No, you'll have the first pick of the last round, so you won't have the last pick of the draft, but he'll be there for that. We can just bank on that. I'm back on the clock. I'm in a similar situation. I'm already balanced somewhat between QB and RB. Really need a receiver. I'm the last team without a receiver. Oh, no, me and team 5 sitting there with the QB and RB each. So this is time to look at receiver for sure, because who knows what's going to come back to me. So Fantasy Pros says there's a tier break here with Garrett Wilson. They actually have him in the same category as Devontae Adams.
Right. There's a
And
lot of
there's
projection on Aaron Rodgers there, I think.
Yeah, for sure it is. And then we see kind of another tier still in here. All these guys, I see them as really high upside wide receiver twos for your fantasy team. Meaning, I think there's 10 or 12 better guys, depending on your league size, where those guys should be the number one receiver on all those fantasy teams. These guys I would look to have as my number two guys with pleasure. Garrett Wilson is one of those last guys that I'm like very thrilled to have him as my number one receiver. And I'm not going to think about it much more than that. I agree that there's a little bit of a tier break here. I'll be happy to take Garrett Wilson with my 3rd round pick. And I'm going to be back on the clock here in just a second. After me, Jonathan Taylor finally goes. It's a good value on him there because he'll land somewhere, like you said.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, Justin Herbert, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon, and Ramondre Stevenson round out the 3rd round. And then we're sneaking back here with Trevor Lawrence, DK Metcalf, Breece Hall, Mark Andrews, Chris Olave, and Keenan Allen for the first half or so of the 4th round. And I'm back on the clock. John, what were you saying there?
I was just saying, I think Olave is a really good value right there as well.
Yeah, I
It was the other one I was looking
that.
for. That like I kind of have him. Maybe it's just my bias, but I kind of have him in another little tier than some of the other guys surrounding him on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. This one's actually it's weird. This draft is coming to me pretty easy now.
Yeah.
It helps not having a 30-second timer. That's pretty insane for any league. If you're a commissioner of a league out there, don't have a 30-second timer on your picks. That's insane in a live draft. You don't need to go 10 minutes either. But this draft is coming to me pretty easy right now. It's pretty clear to me which guy I want. Let's see if Fantasy Pros agrees with me. They don't. I'm going to go a little bit more towards the traditional side of fantasy here. If I look at all of these, this is just what Fantasy Pros says, and I have no horse in this race for what they say exactly. But they got Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Amari Cooper here, all receivers. I like all those guys. They also have Najee Harris here as a suggestion. When I look at RBs, I see a massive drop from Harris to these other guys. When I look at receivers, I see opportunity here in all these guys here, and I'm sure if I put this guy up, I like him too. I like him too.
There's deep. Yeah, there's depth. Yeah.
I look at quarterback and tight end. Guys don't stand out as much there to me right now. So this is pretty clear. Slam dunk pick for me. Najee Harris of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going to be my RB2. I love my running back room, and I didn't even have to overcommit. My 1st round and my 4th round pick. And I'm feeling very secure with my 2 running backs. And now I can look elsewhere to fill out these receivers as I already have a quarterback.
Yeah, we're in a. Let's see.
I'll set the stage here for you, John.
There's kind
After
of
I take
guys.
Najee Harris, Devontae Smith, and Deebo Samuel come off of the block. John's up to finish off the 4th round and also make the first pick of the 5th round. He's got Mahomes, Jacobs, and Adams. Very balanced team. What are you looking to do here now, John?
I don't hate that idea of looking where the biggest gaps are, tier gaps are, but for me it's they're I'm not even going to get a shot. I have to look 3 or 4 people down it, Yeah. The biggest one is really clearly T. Higgins. I don't love taking receivers at this point, but I just find myself again taking another receiver, I think. And now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this other pick I have right in a row here. I don't want to take another receiver. Probably want to get another running back because I have this tier here of Jones, Etienne, and Gibbs. And then we're going to get into another lower tier. And I need an RB2 at this point. So yeah, I like Jones. I'm pretty 6s on those guys. So there we go.
All right, John makes back-to-back picks with T. Higgins, Aaron Jones, followed by Jared Goff and Dak Prescott, a couple quarterbacks coming off. One more reminder, guys, some people have jumped in since the last time we said it. We are doing a spin for a DAPS Sports gift card giveaway, $25 gift card giveaway right after this draft finishes up. So make sure you get more likes on the video. If we hit 30 likes, I have no idea where we are right now. We're at 21. If we hit 30 likes, we'll be doing 2 more spins after that. So stick around, and also make sure you head over to PlayBack. That's how you get your name on the wheel to win. The show is streaming on PlayBack, by the way, if you haven't been there before. So if you're watching on YouTube, you have plenty of time. If you've never been to PlayBack, make an account. You have plenty of time to do that, and you can still watch the show over there, and you can join in the VIP chat as well, because we got our most notorious TCP fan base over there on PlayBack. So go join up with them. I'm back on the clock. I should probably look at the actual tab where this draft is so I can make my pick. Let's flip back to my team here. So, I guess this is the wrong view to show who I have on my roster. I have Justin Fields, Christian McCaffrey, Najee Harris, and Garrett Wilson so far. Just by roster makeup, it looks like I need either a tight end or a receiver with this pick. Receiver is probably the biggest need considering how many we need on these teams. Fantasy Pros says Amari Cooper is the one to take here. I'm sure they also, just overall, Amari Cooper is the guy they want me to take. I don't want to seem like I'm just going off of what they're telling me to do here, but I do think that Amari Cooper is the best receiver still available. So again, I'm just going to take this nice and easy. Go ahead and take the position I need because he's a great player as well. Stoked to have Amari Cooper on the squad. Welcome to the team, Amari. That's going to put me back on the clock here right away because the computer is very fast at drafting. After Amari Cooper goes, I'm going to pull this comment down so we can see this. Or I guess I could just scroll up here. Yeah, that's valuable information. Scrolling down here. After Amari Cooper goes Deshaun Watson, Tua Tagovailoa, Travis Etienne, Kirk Cousins, Damian Pierce, and Calvin Ridley to finish up the 5th round. And then in the 6th round, DeAndre Hopkins, Jahmyr Gibbs, TJ Hawkinson, Anthony Richardson, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and Kenneth Walker. Guys, if you're in a Superflex league, this should be very educational for you, very helpful. Like I said, not a lot of Superflex mocks out there, even to consume as content. Even harder to find one to do for yourself, especially if you have like custom rules. This one should give you an idea if you're in a Superflex league about when like the price check on some of these guys. You know, if you're looking at a guy like these sort of back end QB1s, barely top 10 guys like Jared Goff, Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Tua, those guys are all coming off in the 5th round here. So in the top 50 picks, where in other fantasy leagues you would see them around the 10th round maybe. So that gives you an idea. With twice as many quarterbacks that teams can use, they go about twice as fast. So a little price check on those guys. I'm on the clock again. Let's see what Fantasy Pros is suggesting. They think Chris Godwin is the guy for me. Looking at my roster, I do need another receiver starting here. Also need another tight end, but I still could play anything. Everybody's in play here. Let's take a look at the quarterbacks because once they're kind of gone, they're gone. Nothing really distinguishing these guys from one another to me in a really significant way. Running back, maybe a little bit different there. I see sort of a tier break between some of those guys there. Receiver, fairly strong throughout there, in my opinion. Tight end, we're getting down to it a little bit. We're getting some of the last guys here that you really want to have as your tight end. So I think for me,
we have a tight end. Oh, that's the
we
change.
do have actual tight end proper.
Jeez.
So that it would show receiver versus tight end. In our Triple Cross podcast
I was not
league,
thinking about that.
We've combined receiver and tight end and just have 4 of those. But here we have 3 receivers and a tight end. So yeah, don't worry about it. It could be your last pick. And most like good fantasy players probably would just wait for their last pick to do tight end here. But when you see a chance, why not take it on the guy you like? That's what I'm going to do here with Miles Sanders. I'm a big fan of Miles Sanders. I think that him going to Carolina kind of signifies he's the guy in Carolina. I think even like Alexander Mattison in Minnesota, Fantasy Pros is projecting more points. There's been a lot of talk around Madison in this offseason. If he's the new bell cow, taking the new Dalvin Cook role in Minnesota, he will be incredible. No argument for me there. I see Minnesota is way more likely to add somebody else to their running back room than Carolina, though. Miles Sanders is in this sort of like breakout potential year for me, in my opinion. So I think Miles Sanders could have a better season. I like his upside a lot there. And I'm going to take him as my flex guy. So I have 3 running backs now. I could go with one more running back. I'd be very RB heavy, but it's still possible. So anything's still in play for me. After Miles Sanders, Brandon Ayuk from the Niners goes, and Aaron Rodgers, another quarterback, goes. John, you are now up. Your team looks like this: Pat Mahomes, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Devonta Adams, and T. Higgins. What are you thinking?
In Superflex, I almost always play 2 quarterbacks, especially with what's left on the board. I am looking at the quarterbacks out there.
I see it.
I mean,
the guy you took last time.
There's one real runner left and one guy who is maybe a runner that we don't know. We don't know what CJ Stroud's going to do yet. But there's one guy who I know puts it on the ground, and that's what I want in my QB2 in a Superflex league. So I'm going to take Dan Jones.
Dan Jones. Welcome to John's team.
Dan Jones is good at football.
That's what they say.
I mean, basically, Fantasy Pros is just like suggesting I take receivers at this point. I don't need another running back, but I would rather have another. I'm like, my logic here is I think I'd rather have another running back for my flex than a receiver for my receiver spot.
Interesting.
And there's a little tier break here. A guy I have drafted twice, and I've loved him once and not liked him once. I'm going to go with him again. Not, this is in past leagues. I'm going to go with him again, James Conner.
James Conner, John's favorite player, behind Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones and James Conner are staples on the John squad. John, are we going to get you in the TCP? You are Felix's co-manager?
Yeah, we're co-managers. Yes.
You know what's interesting? I looked at it. I don't know if everybody knows this. This could be new information to some of you guys. John and Felix from the chat. I don't think he's here right now.
He's in the VIP chat. He's in PlayBack.
Oh, good. He frequents the chat very often. What's up, Felix? I looked at it, and you guys were actually co-managers in our work league last year. So you guys are just carrying on the tradition.
I don't think we were.
You were. That's fact. You probably never really paid attention to it. Let's just be real. But you were along for the ride, and I have no idea how Felix actually did in that league. But I know Felix is good at fantasy, so Felix is in our TCP fantasy league this year. So very interesting. The Romanian assassin coming in to try to beat us all at American fantasy football. Let's take a look at my team. I'm over a minute into my pick now, and I haven't looked at anything. I have Justin Fields, Christian McCaffrey, Najee Harris, Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, and Miles Sanders. Still open anywhere I want to go. Fantasy Pros says I should take Drake London here, then followed by a ton of receivers. That's just how it's going to look, given the fact that receiver is always a position of need until you fill out 3 of them. Let's take a look at the draft board. I don't think I wrapped that up from your last pick. After James Conner, DJ Moore goes, and Chris Godwin. Both of those guys, receivers I would love to have taken here at this spot, if I'm being honest. And with Brandon Ayuk, I really thought there'd be a receiver that gets back to me that I really wanted. That still might be the case. A little less excited about some of these guys, though. I'm going to look at tight end here. I already have CMC. I'm going to try to take this draft serious, even though we're not playing these teams out. It's just a mock draft. You say, who cares if I take another guy from the Niners? But I wouldn't probably here. If I have Christian McCaffrey, I don't necessarily want the tight end on that team as well. You know what I mean? Like, I already am betting on Christian McCaffrey since I took him early to get as many touchdowns as possible for the Niners, which just limits the amount of touchdowns available for George Kittle to get. So I don't know that I'm in on Kittle at this spot either. I am kind of leaning toward receiver here. And Drake London, he's a young guy. He could break out definitely with Desmond Ridder as the new Falcons quarterback. He got a couple of starts last year. This is his make it or break it year. If he breaks and he doesn't make it, I could also see a midseason acquisition of another quarterback for the Falcons. You know, like Trey Lance comes to mind. He's been linked to the Falcons a lot. If there's a shakeup in the offense and they kind of explode midseason, that'd be kind of cool for London too. London is a talented guy, and I am going to jump on him here. We'll take Drake London, round out the receiving room. I'm still pretty wide open. Need a tight end, need a super flex. Super flex being anything. I like that I haven't filled that yet. I keep my options open. Let the draft come to me. And here, back on the clock in the 8th round, we're just about wrapped up in this. Again, if you haven't liked the video, like the video. Every 10 likes, we'll do a spin to get your name on the wheel that we'll spin for the gift card. Join us over on PlayBack. Link is in the description. We'll be doing our first spin as soon as these last 2 rounds finish up. After I picked, George Kittle went off immediately. Then J.K. Dobbins, Terry McLaurin, Alvin Kamara, Darren Waller, Christian Kirk, Michael Pittman, first pick of the 8th round. Rachaad White, Jerry Jeudy, Christian Watson, Cam Akers, Mike Williams, and I'm back on the clock with the 7th pick of the 8th round. And who do I want here? I don't know. The chat's talking about basketball. It's cool. You guys, or at least John is. He's sending, I don't know. There's conversations going on all over the place. There are probably some guys who jump out to me here. Nobody really at quarterback right now. Not going to take the symbolic Purdy pick necessarily this time around.
You can wait on him.
Yeah, we shall see. Wouldn't mind wrapping up the tight end spot here, but also I don't know that I care that I make sure I get Dallas Goedert or Kyle Pitts or any of these guys over the rest of them. We've already kind of punted tight end. So this might be the time where I actually shoot my shot on the super flex spot. And this is something I think is important to mention. So I'm in with you, generally speaking, on like get running backs early while they're available because the good ones kind of get taken up early. But in a league like this, you have to start 3 receivers every week. I already have a 3rd running back taking up my flex spot. I only have 3 receivers. I should probably, at this point in the draft, really start considering stacking up more and more and more receivers because as bye weeks come or injuries, I'm going to need to fill 3 spots every week with receivers. If you got to be deep in the starting lineup on receivers, you need to be deep with bodies as well. So for that reason, I'm looking over here at the receivers, and Tyler Lockett is their top one available. I don't mind Tyler Lockett. I like Tyler Lockett a lot. I'm a Niners fan, but he's one of the Seahawks that I don't mind taking. Looking, again, trying to take this as serious as possible. 5th week, bye week. Amari Cooper already has that. I don't always consider bye weeks being all that important, but again, having to start 3 every week, why would I draft 2 of my first 4 receivers with the same bye week if I could help that? Another guy I like a ton, just as much as Lockett, pretty much. The tiebreaker, I'm going to give it to this guy, Marquise Brown, bye week 14. Don't even have one of those yet. I'm setting myself up for success, making each week an easy decision. I'm going to take Hollywood Brown here. I think with DeAndre Hopkins gone from that offense, he is now clearly the alpha receiving target. And Kyler won't be available necessarily the whole season. I don't know if that whole thing is resolved yet. But when Kyler's back on the field, Marquise Brown will be a hell of a value. And even without Kyler, it's not like the backup's going to look to target somebody else more. Marquise Brown is going to be the main offensive weapon. And to get him this late in a draft, I think is a steal. So I'll take him happily with the 7th pick of the 8th round. And Dalvin Cook comes off next. Also a crazy deal there just because there's some murkiness with his situation. Dallas Goedert finally does go, John. So hopefully you weren't aiming to get the top tight end on the board.
Nope.
You're up with the last pick of your last 2 picks, actually. So, John, round out your draft here and tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah. No, I mean, for sure, Deontay Johnson or Tyler Lockett for my last receiver spot. Both WR2s, both very solid WR2s. Looking at my other receivers, more deep threat type guys, I guess T. Higgins is kind of possessional. I want someone who's more of a slot, like more of a possessional short target receiver who's just going to get more targets. Of those 2, Deontay Johnson and Tyler Lockett, the one that has that vibe to me a little bit more is Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett also, on my pick, I was looking at the same position and how the bye weeks looked. The next level of that is to look at just your whole roster. If you're stuck between 2 guys, I would use bye weeks as a tiebreaker. You do have somebody with a bye week of 6 already. So Deontay Johnson would be doubling up on that, just creating a little bit of a situation for you come week 6. If you take a bye week 5 guy, you don't have one of those. makes it a little bit easier to fill one spot instead of two spots in your starting lineup.
Yep.
But injuries, there's all kinds of things. But since those are early in the season, I would support the Tyler Lockett pick for sure. I was considering him, so I think it'd be a hell of a pick.
Yeah. Well, while you were sitting there considering him, I was like, man, I hope he's still on the board when I pick. So yeah, he's there. Let's take him. And then tight end,
maybe.
there seems to be a pretty clear gap at tight end with Kyle Pitts. So
there you go. Nice.
There we go. We are rounded out. John's team's done. We're rounded out.
John's team is done. We'll do a little final recap. He just took Kyle Pitts as his tight end. Great value, 9th round, Kyle Pitts. Love that. Evan Ingram goes right before me too. That might sting a little bit. Javonte Williams is the meat of the sandwich in between those two tight ends. I'm back on the clock with my last pick. I need to fill my tight end spot. It's got to be a tight end here. We're just filling out our starting lineups. Man, okay. So again, I knew I was going to be faced with a decision like this. Guys that I'm not thrilled to have on my team, but when it comes to this, these are going to be guys that are easy to drop if another tight end off of waivers is available that I think has higher upside or something. So that's the keyword I look at here. If you punt a certain position, we call these position onesie positions where you only carry one tight end. I'm looking for late round upside. I don't want the guy here who is just like a steady floor guy, because that's not what I want from this position. What I want from this, because you're not really getting that to a great degree with any of these guys. But what could happen is one of these guys
who's got banger potential. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And, I would say if I was going for that high floor guy, it's Pat Freiermuth all the way. But in looking for high ceiling, I'm looking for guys with a little bit more risk baked into them, which is the only reason why they're even still available here. So I'm looking at things where the offenses have changed quite a bit. Pittsburgh, that's not the case really. But Cleveland, Houston, and Denver, I think you can make an argument that there's been quite a bit of a shakeup in all of those offenses. The one that stands out to me, or the one I'm at least going to take a swing on here, another pseudo looking at the bye week thing. I guess that doesn't really work out here. Ooh, actually, I think I just talked myself out of that. I was going to take Njoku, but seeing that he's a Brown and I have Amari Cooper, not necessarily the stack I want to have. So I'm going to quickly make another decision here and decide that I would like to go with Greg Dulcich, I think. So Dalton Schultz, more like the Freiermuth style. If I was looking for just a higher floor than the other guys, I think he's going to get a lot of targets. He's not going to make a lot of game-breaking plays, though. Greg Dulcich, Njoku, a little bit more of those guys, higher touchdown potential maybe because they can score from further out. Greg Dulcich, not going to break my heart if I have to drop him after like week 2 or 3 or something, because I'm not, that's what we did here. We just punted the position, waited till the end. I got a little B+ there, no big deal.
I got a solid C. I got a 75.
Attaboy,
which
John.
I knew would happen. Which I knew would happen because I took Josh Jacobs. And but yeah, I agree with that. I actually thought you were going to go straight to Dulcich on that pick because you're a big Sean Payton guy.
I am a big Sean Payton guy, and that would be so. If people were saying like, "Oh, you're going for like shooken up offenses," like that offense isn't that shooken up at all. It's all the same returning players for the most part. That's true. But Sean Payton, just in the essence of being there, changes that offense a ton. So I'll recap my team real quickly here. For my let's pull it up on the side. It's easier to view here. So for my my starting quarterback, I'll have Justin Fields. Don't have a quarterback in the Superflex spot. I definitely, if we continued to draft, 4 to 6 more rounds here with the bench, I would definitely have at least one more quarterback, probably 2, just to give myself some backups there, because in Superflex positions, there's really not that many left on the open market after a draft. So another key warning for you guys out there in Superflex drafts. My running back room looks like Christian McCaffrey, Najee Harris, and Miles Sanders. So I'm pretty happy to have those guys on the squad. Pretty good room of 3. 3 is the number I would like to have in this situation for sure. That's the optimal amount. Wouldn't like to go 4. Wouldn't like to have only 2 when it comes to just these 9 starters. My running back or my receiving room looks like Garrett Wilson, Amari Cooper, Drake London, and Marquise Brown. I think I have a nice mix of guys who are guaranteed to get a certain amount of targets with some upside already. And then some other guys who I'm banking quite a bit more on just a breakout potential year, a guy like Drake London. So I feel pretty diversified there. Also love that I didn't double down on any bye weeks in that position where it's going to be tough to fill 3 of them every week. So that's nice. So my to round it out, my tight end is Greg Dulcich. I already kind of said my piece on him, but basically looking for a breakout here. If he doesn't perform as a guy that looks like he should be on my roster come week 2, week 3, I have no qualms with just moving on from him, which is something in the human aspect of fantasy football. You got to set yourself up to make what are fairly easy decisions for yourself, even if that means this will be an easy guy to part with if he doesn't do what I expect him to do. You don't want to like have this like take lock mentality where if I go with a guy that I think is this ultimate sleeper down here at tight end, even if he doesn't do good, I don't want to have belief in a guy here where I'll just ride that all the way down to last place in my league because I was too stubborn to drop a guy that I liked. So Greg Dulcich fits that role pretty nice for me. Wouldn't mind having to move on from him, but I think he has a decent chance at breaking out this year as a sophomore tight end, which usually rookie tight ends don't do that well. And he performed pretty well as a rookie already. So that's my team. John, please recap your team for us. I'll pull it up here on my screen as well.
My team, we got Patty Mahomes, starting QB, Josh Jacobs, RB1, Aaron Jones, RB2, Devontae Adams, wide receiver 1, T. Higgins, wide receiver 2, Tyler Lockett, wide receiver 3, Kyle Pitts at the tight end spot, James Conner in the flex, and Daniel Jones in the super flex. We got a poll. Whose team y'all think is better? The poll is live right now on YouTube, and then I also just that and playback. Mike is the only person who sounded off in playback. But also just a heads up, guys, in a second, we are going to go head over to playback, or we're going to do a giveaway, a $25 gift card giveaway. The way you get entered, I'm putting people on the wheel right now. The way you get entered is you go over to playback.tv/triplecross. You hit the link, or you hit the link in the description. Playback.tv/triplecross. We're going to give away a $25 gift card for some NBA swag or some NFL swag, whatever you want to get. Some sports stuff, some sports memorabilia. So yeah, go over there. But yeah, I don't know. I like my team, but I don't know. There's something I didn't like the way the draft went, but I think that probably happens a lot when you get the one pick in a draft like this, and especially Superflex.
Yeah, I mean, Superflex, this is why, a lot of people would say, like, you have to do another mock draft. Well, I mean, I think it's important to do more than one. If we did one ever in this, like, leading up to real mock draft or real fantasy draft season, that doesn't feel like a good way to, like, show people what you should be doing. I think you need to practice a little bit, and I feel way, way better about my team this time around. Kind of coming into it with the right headspace, and knowing what I didn't like about the last mock draft we did. That's kind of what you need to do. You're wearing these grooves. John, probably on the next one around, you'd have more feelings like, you know what? It didn't feel that bad to wait on tight end. So I know I can do that. You know what I mean? It didn't feel bad that I had a quarterback taken in the first round, so I could wait on a guy that I just see as a good value like Daniel Jones later on. Didn't have to force it. He just kind of came to me at a certain spot. I think you did a good job there. I also think you did a good job not just like stacking up RBs super early. I think you had your first 3 picks were RBs last time around.
Yeah,
I would say that maybe your running back room isn't
I think
quite
it was
strong.
RB receiver RB.
Right. Yeah, I think that is right, actually. Sure, your running backs aren't quite as strong as in that other draft, obviously, because you went 2nd round, 5th round, 7th round on them. But your receiving room is vastly, vastly improved. I think a stronger team this time around than the last time. So I think we both accomplished the goal.
I mean, the Fantasy Pros gave me a way worse grade this time around.
I mean, screw Fantasy Pros, man.
That's what I'm saying.
We don't need that in our life. So John's getting that wheel set up. John, how we doing on that wheel? Because I do have our basketball list on the ready to send. But I think we could probably
share it.
Yeah, we could probably do this wheel now so that the people who have been here for the football section have kind of a higher chance of winning before we bring in more of the basketball people. So
once we have basketball, I bet we'll get another spin. We're at 22 likes right now.
Yeah.
We only need 8
so
more
stay
to
here,
get
even
spin.
if you're not a huge basketball fan, stick around. We'll be doing more spins, guaranteed. At least one more. I agree with John. I think our basketball list will come on and they'll give us what we need to get even one more spin. So multiple chances to win, hopefully later on in the episode. Anybody not see themselves on the wheel, but present in playback at the moment? Let us know. We'll give you about a minute or two. Then we'll spin this wheel and forever hold your peace on that one. So
okay,
pretty small wheel right now.
So I gotta address this dude. Michael Lavallee.
Lavallee.
All right. So here I'm gonna scroll up a little bit for this because I hope I'm entered, and then later I hope I win. Smiley, I win. These are two different chats, by the way. He chatted that again. Thumbs up. Just letting you know, Corey. I think he meant to say Casey.
Thanks.
I hope I win the drawing giveaway.
Martin.
Michael, that's cool. I want you to win too. But there he goes again. I hope I win. You got to go to PlayBack. I don't know if you're still sitting here on YouTube, but you got to go to PlayBack in order to win. I hope I win. I'm praying. My name is not on the wheel. You got to go to PlayBack. There's a link in the description, playback.tv/triplecross. That's how you get onto the wheel. If your name's not on the wheel, it's because you're not on PlayBack, and I can't put you on the wheel. So you can watch the show there. You're not like leaving the show. The show is over on PlayBack. I guess we don't say that very much because we're like, oh yeah, we know it's there. But
yeah, we forget.
You can just watch the show. Yeah, you can just watch the show over there. It's a video platform. You can stay over there. You don't have to come back to YouTube if you don't want. There's a chat over there. There's a party over there. Everything's going on. So yeah. All right. Looks like somebody new came to PlayBack. Who is it? Huey, I got you. I don't think nobody's telling me in PlayBack. Oh, Kaiza. We got a new person. So
Kaiza
on the wheel.
Kaiza Permanente. Is that? Kaiza Soze.
Kaiza. You're on the wheel, Kaiza.
Kaiza.
Michael Lavallee, get over to PlayBack. Get yourself on the wheel. I want to give him a second because he definitely wants to win.
Michael Lavallee, get on over to PlayBack, sir.
Dude, okay, so I guess while we're doing that, or while we're waiting for that, did you see? We could talk about this. Did you see the Barstool thing? So, like a couple years ago, like 10 years ago, I watched Dave Portnoy from Barstool did a video on this. I guess he hasn't had full control of Barstool for 10 years because he has like cut other people into it and like sold pieces of it and stuff like that. And he sold it to Penn Gaming. And he sold it for like 500 million. So I don't think he owned most of Barstool for the last little while here. But he just bought it back from them, quote unquote, bought it back. But I don't think there was a price on it. I was like looking at the contract or whatever, and I would have to investigate this more. But I don't think he had to like give any cash to buy it back. I think they just still own some like phantom stock. I think they own some options, some shares of it. And then I think they own like phantom stock is stock that realizes, or options basically that realize when a sale happens. So if he ever sold it in the future, then that's when they would like really get their kind of nut. And yeah, like he came on and said he made a video that basically just said like, I am like, we don't work well in a regulated industry. We don't get to say whatever we want. And then now it's back to the pirate ship. We can say whatever we want. And I will never sell this. My kids are going to have it. Or if I die, freaking Big Cat's going to have it, or whoever's left standing, I'll give it to somebody like that, but we're not going to sell it and make it go public again. So that happened. I don't know if you saw that.
El Presidente. I didn't really see it. Sounds like an interesting situation. I did know that he sold it. I kind of forgot though. So this doesn't shake up my worldview a ton because I'm like, oh yeah, he's back. But I forgot he was ever gone. So good for him. I mean,
he's been there the whole time for sure.
Right. But I mean, I forget he was like, I forget that he wasn't.
He cashed out big time. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. John, I do think we have a new person in PlayBack. I think that's probably Michael who made it over. So I think that was
I'm not saying a new person, but Mick Jal, you're here.
Michael
Hopefully
Lavallee.
That's Mike. Oh, Michael.
That's. I mean, based on what he said, I think that's.
It's going on the wheel as Mick Jal. Now he can see that Ralix over in PlayBack was kind of teasing him, but he made it. I hope I'm on the wheel. Said Mick Jal. Mick Jal, you're there. You're on the wheel right there, Mick Jal.
So I think he was our litmus test for people who had plenty of time to get over. So I think it's time to spin that wheel for $25 to Dab Sports. And I'm going to go ahead and notify our basketball list now so they don't get in on the spin, but they can get in on the next one.
Here we go. Spin the wheel. $25 gift card giveaway right now.
I hope you're on the wheel too, Mick Jal. Hey, wow, co-manager bias. Oh, yeah, how'd you rig the wheel for your co-manager?
Oh, did I? Hey, good job.
I forget.
Sorry, I was watching on PlayBack.
Yeah.
Well, it will. I mean, PlayBack is showing us, dude. Yes.
You're right. Yeah, it's not. I forget sometimes.
I
Well,
know
if we
it
have
is
our
tough.
mics
It's tough.
on playback, then they would hear it in real. So, yeah, it's fine.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
this is how it works. And for the audio people who are just listening after the fact, I don't know what they're thinking right now.
They're
So,
like, what the fuck are you guys
by
talking?
the
Which
way,
is kind
just
of
to those
crazy. There's
people,
so many of them. You
yeah,
know.
we don't call it out a lot because we're so used to engaging with the live chat and the live viewers and our private chat and things like that. We rarely speak to the audio only listeners. So if you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio, any other podcast app that you have, if you're listening there, join us on the live show. You can get in on all these spins that we're talking about all the time. We give away probably 2 to 3 gift cards every single episode, and that's just in this off-season time too. Imagine when basketball or football are actually in season. Usually our shows blow up quite a bit, and it's a very fun environment. Lots of chatting going on about your favorite sports, your favorite teams, your favorite players, and you can get in maybe win. We've had multiple people win multiple spins on the same show just in the last couple months. So you could end up after just showing up to one live show with like $50 in credit at DAP Sports Store. You could get something pretty sweet as far as sports memorabilia goes. And if you use it right, use those credits right, you can even kind of sniper shoot it in on like the specific team you want too. So
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty cool
Right. And you
opportunity.
could
If you haven't
actually like
checked out DAP
you
Sports,
could actually end up
definitely do that.
hitting. Yeah, end up hitting pretty big. Seth must be in a keeper league because I don't think very many trades are going on in fantasy drafts right now. But should I trade D Hop for Addison or D Hop and Addison for Ridley? What do you think, Casey?
Okay, so personally, in that scenario, D Hop and Addison for Ridley, I would say, first of all, especially in a dynasty league, any trade, any roster move should consider the rest of your roster. So I don't know what you're looking at as far as the rest of your roster goes, the different positional kind of situations you're in. But when you have D Hop and Addison, I see 2 specific archetypes there. One is an established guy in D-Hop who's probably going to have a pretty high floor as long as he stays healthy. He's going to get a lot of targets on his team, so he's going to be very good in the short term, very high floor for him in the short term. Addison is a little bit bigger swing, could have a breakout season being this young guy on a high-powered offense, but more than likely he's going to get better over the next couple of years. So I would say I'd much rather have a D-Hop and Addison, who are 2 very clear roles for my team. D-Hop is going to be my starter mostly this year. Maybe Addison ends up passing him up later on in the year, or if I can keep him for the next year, I think they fit both those roles really well. Ridley, kind of trying to do both at once. He's established, but he took a lot of time off because of the suspension he had, and who really knows how he fits in on the offense he's going in. So a lot more question marks there. I don't like that. I think you get the higher floor play and the higher ceiling play on the D-Hop and Addison side of that trade. So Seth, that's what I'd recommend. But you also got to do what's right for you. If you're a huge Jags fan, get your guy.
The 3 Walketeers in playback said don't trade Addison, so he agrees.
Yep, I like it.
Cool. All right, basketball crew is coming. NBA crew is coming in. All right, here's the deal. Every 10 likes on the video, we give away $25 gift cards. Last I saw, a video is sitting at 23. It's at 23 likes, so only 7 more likes. We're gonna do a gift card giveaway, another spin. Also, real quick, there's you can tap the heart button on the live, and you can do that a bunch of times, or you can tap the 100. I see people do that when we say this. Somebody just did it, actually. That's great. That's not what I mean by a like on the video. I mean an actual thumbs up below the video on YouTube. That's what we're counting. Definitely tap the hearts. We love the heart taps. I like that. But yeah, I see them coming in right now. Heart, 100, 100, heart. That's cool. But hit the actual like button below. Tap the hearts in the hundreds when we say things that you guys like, because that's fun.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah, and let us know.
Okay, hold on. Before we move on to this all basketball stuff, let's look at whose team is better poll. We have 12 votes in. That's all the people who could make up their mind because both our teams are so good. It's a very tight race, John. I did edge you out a little bit. You did. According to the fans.
I think I grabbed 2 of the 3 people who voted in playback, so that might have evened it out, but maybe not.
Well, you never know. 58% of the vote went to me, 41 to you, but that doesn't equal 100. I don't know how YouTube does it.
7
math.
Yeah. So you probably got 7 votes. I probably got 5 votes. I got 2 in playback. You got 1 in playback. So you probably beat me 8-7.
Sounds good to me. For how much I pay attention to it, I feel like you really are the winner. That's a very, very nice job. And I think Felix is happy to have you as his co-manager. All right. Now we're moving on to the basketball portion of the show. We love football here, But it's time for basketball, John. We aren't giving up on
Hoops.
basketball just because it's the off season. We have some
Nope.
fun stuff we're doing today.
We're doing prime off-season content here, guys.
Yeah.
Also,
We could,
5 likes away from 30. I'm just saying.
let's go. Like the video. We'll do some more giveaways along the way. Join us on PlayBack. The show is going on there as well. And if you're on PlayBack, that's how you get your name on the wheel to win the gift cards that we're giving away. So yeah, we could talk about just like, NBA news, whatever's going on, happens to be going on in the off season. But I think it's way more fun to talk about these guys who potentially could find themselves on new teams here and all those things. I found a 5-way proposed draft from Fansided that I think kind of sums up all the players, a lot of the big name players at least, that could end up moving around. And this trade accounts for most of them. So I like that. This is a good way to, instead of just super
basically, it's like we're going to do it. We're going to do it like if all those guys who are going to move teams or we're talking about in trades, what if they were all part of one trade? And that's what this is.
Right. I like that. So yeah, this is the trade, the proposed trade. We can kind of go through it together. We didn't look over this very much before the show, so we're kind of finding this all together in this 5-way trade. Well, I have it all. Yeah, hold on here.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Hold on.
I guess I could like pull it up, huh?
Here, yeah, that would be a good idea for your own personal
use,
just well-being. But yeah, I'll give it a couple more zooms anyway. We don't need to see it all at once. So do you want to read off this trade or should I, John?
All right. So in this trade, so somebody put this into Trade Finder and I'm assuming it just all works, but here is how this would all go down. The Miami Heat would receive Damian Lillard, Yusuf Nurkic, Amir Coffey, a 2028 second round pick, and a 2029 second round pick. So it's a good haul for them, but you know what? I wish this was structured differently. That
so you can see which each team is giving up and getting.
Yes, what they're giving up for that. So I'm scrolling through here, and for that they would give up Tyler Herro for sure. And it looks like they would also give up mostly picks. Be giving up picks. Tyler Herro and basically a bunch of picks. So, I mean, look, the Heat are win now. Jimmy Butler is a win now player. Bam definitely has some years in the league, but like that whole squad is win now. Kyle Lowry at whatever, 36 years old, still contributing. Kevin Love's like 100. He's actually only like 34, but he looks 100. So, yeah, I mean, that's a win now move for Miami, and I like it. I like that. Get Dame and Nurkic. I mean, Nurkic is like an incredible backup center. He's an okay starting center. He's probably a top half of the league starting center. So to have him as a backup center, damn, I like it. I mean, that's a move that makes the Heat, in my opinion, like maybe the top contender out of the East. And I remember that Milwaukee and Boston also exist in the East.
Nurkic does a lot of like dirty work kind of stuff, in my opinion. Like he's like that kind of guy. Like not a lot of glamour, glitz and glamour to him, really. But like you said, like maybe top half of the league in centers. So like, yeah, I think that's
he actually shoots decently well. I bet he shoots 35% from the 3-point line. He doesn't take a lot of them, so nobody realizes that, but he does.
He doesn't have like the star power attached to his name. No. It's not a super sexy acquisition, but especially within this context, like I think this just seeing what Miami. Sure, we could focus on what every team's given up, but the way this article is written is focusing on which players and which picks each team receives. So I think just looking at what the Miami Heat receives, they probably get better with this trade.
They're basically saying we're going to give up our future to try and win another ring, which I love.
So let's do it like this. Are you in on this trade for the Heat? You like that?
Yes. A+ for the Heat. Who cares about the future? That sounds like a problem for future Pat Riley.
Exactly. I love that. All right, John. So moving on.
They also give up. Sorry, they also give up Kyler. They also give up Kyle Lowry. So I'm reading the Trailblazers part now. So they give up Tyler Herro, Kyle Lowry.
You mentioned Lowry. You mentioned Lowry.
I mentioned him, but not as somebody they would give up.
I see. Okay.
So Portland Trailblazers would go ahead. Would receive Kyle Lowry, Tobias Harris, Jamie Jaquez. I don't even know who that is. Jaquez?
You don't know about Jaquez, bro? Are you serious?
Nikola Jovic. So Jovic is another player Miami would give up as well. So Jovic,
literally one letter off of Nikola Jokic. I think they're hoping that like there's just like they misread it. They're like, whoa, we're getting Nikola Jokic. Maybe not. Maybe not.
So Miami would give up Lowry and Jovic. So again, yeah, reassessing for Miami, including Lowry, Jovic, Harrow, still like the trade for Nurkic and Lillard, and Amir Coffey. No, Blazers, Lowry, Harris, Jaquez, Jovic, 2026 second round pick, first round pick, sorry. 2028 first round pick. I mean, that 2026 first round pick is going to be more or less useless. Probably. Like they're probably not going to be back by then. 2028 first round pick by Miami via Miami. That actually might be pretty valuable. 30 first round picks via Miami. 2 first round picks for 2030. That definitely could be valuable because they won't be good still then. And then a 2030 second round pick via the Bulls. I mean, like, yeah, this is definitely a rebuild move. You're going to go Scoot Henderson. You're going to bring Kyle Lowry in to bring some veteran presence for a couple years, I guess.
And Tobias Harris.
To bring some, it sucks for Tobias Harris. This trade really sucks for Tobias Harris. He's going from a contender to basically like, you're never going to win a ring. Hopefully you had a good career. Yeah, so I don't know. It sucks for those two, but it's probably okay for Portland. I mean, they're not going to win one with Dame. They're not on the stuff around Dame to win one. So I guess, like basically it's like they're not going to break the salary cap to win a ring. So they're going to just try to win one through the draft. Okay.
Love it. Let's keep this thing moving. Next on to the clips. I do want to let people know that we do have a fun game after this. We're doing, I think what's become like our premier game on this show, Heat Check, also known as Higher or Lower. We have one prepared. It's going to be John going solo today with something that I prepared, 10 questions. You can look forward to that. I think John might potentially run the table on this one. So look forward to that. We're going to see if John can do the 10-question challenge. That's for later. John, moving on to the third team in this 5-way trade.
Yeah.
The LA Clippers.
James Harden, second round pick from the Blazers. So James Harden and a bunch of picks, and I'm looking through here trying to figure out what they're giving up. They're giving up Marcus Morris. They're giving up Nick Batum. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. It doesn't make the Clippers contenders. So we'd have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden. I mean, that's great. That's a great combination of guys if you could get them all to play at the same time. So I guess
good luck with that.
Yeah, I guess.
But
maybe
I mean, hey, that's
they
so
actually,
Clippers. That's so Clippers, though.
That is very Clippers of them to do. Yep, very Steve Ballmer move.
But imagine if we were all there at the same time, you guys.
Yeah, but how good could we be, though?
Whoa, mind blown.
Bulls received. The Bulls are going to give up Zach LaVine.
So the fourth team in the trade now to the Chicago Bulls. Yeah, John, tell us what you think.
They're basically giving up Zach LaVine and a bunch of picks for Tyler Hero and Marcus Morris. And
Zach LaVine, just real quick, John. Zach LaVine, I don't want to say polarizing, but I think within the group of players in this trade, I'm curious where you would stack him just in total talent. With like all these guys, because I mean, obviously, like a Dame is higher. After that, I think it's pretty murky. Like in their current
Dame's
form.
Dame's higher than Zach LaVine. James Harden, even in his current form, is higher than Zach LaVine. Is
Zach LaVine third though in talent?
I think so.
In power here. Tobias Harris, solid.
Harris would be the other contender there, but I think Zach LaVine's better.
Even like Nurkic, like we said, like sneaky good, but probably not better than LaVine. So yeah, LaVine, a big piece here in this whole thing.
Well, and always been a Bull. So but Sixers would receive.
Oh, so we're still on the Bulls, aren't we?
No,
that was just like they're giving up, right?
Yep, what they're giving up is LaVine. So yeah, I mean, look, and they get, I guess, 2029 first round pick swap from the Sixers. That could be valuable by then.
Tyler Hero?
2030. Yeah, they're getting Tyler Hero and Marcus Morris. I already said that.
Right. So like in giving up LaVine, how does this trade look? Are the Bills the one, or the Bills? Wow, football on the brain, football guy here. Are the Bulls the first team that you think might be sort of
going to look like? Yeah, they're going to look like DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Tyler Hero, Kobe White, maybe, or Lonzo Ball, depending on if he can play. They already got rid of Pat Bev. Yeah, the Bulls are just going to be the Bulls. They're not going to be good if they did this.
Okay.
They're just
Channel
gonna
the
be
spirit of Michael
they're
Jordan.
just gonna be
And,
they're just
run
gonna
with
be
that.
10th or 11th in the East. They're not gonna be good.
If you're a Bulls fan, just go rewatch some of the '90s finals series and just feel good with that. You already have maybe the GOAT, so just relax,
Yeah.
everybody in Chicago.
Cliff Krutzner says first time here. Cliff, welcome. Let me tell you the deal, dude. Every 10 likes on the video, we give away a $25 gift card. Right now it's at 27. So make sure you hit the like button below the video. Get us to 30. If you get us to 30, we're going to do a giveaway, $25 giveaway. That happens on our private community. There's a link in the description to that, and the show is live there. So you can just go there and watch the show if you want. But welcome, Cliff. Yes, better late than never.
Yeah, a little correction. If you get us to 30, we'll do one here on YouTube because no matter what, we're doing one on playback after the show, correct?
Oh, you want it? Oh, no, I just figured we always do them on playback. But
well, we already did one.
Do it. Yeah, we'll do it on YouTube, but like you got to be on playback to get entered.
Right. Yes. To get your name on the wheel, to get entered to win, you do need to go over to playback. The show is playing there. We also have a chat there. So yeah, join us on playback. Link in the description. Maybe you win yourself a $25 gift card for sports memorabilia. Easy for me to say. To DAP Sports, that's our partner in our giveaways. If you haven't checked out DAP Sports, I recommend doing that after this show, of course. Yeah. All right, John. Last team in this 5-way trade. Then we move on to the fun game.
Sixers get Levine, Batum, Robert Covington. They give up James Harden. James Harden wants to leave is the problem. If he didn't want to leave, I wouldn't like this. But since he does, I don't hate it, I guess.
I don't really know much about Batum's game. I'll be completely honest with you. Levine, though, we already talked about it. I mean, one of the better pieces included in this big trade. I think the Sixers would be happy to have him. And actually, Robert Covington, I think like a sneaky okay role player. I mean, meaningful minutes probably go to him.
Good defender, good rebounder. Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, look, it's fine. Since James Harden wants to leave, this is fine, is how I would put it. But it's Levine's play style is the main problem. He's just such a mid-range guy.
Well, let me ask you this:
up a little bit.
If it's a given that you're getting rid of Harden, is this about the best compensation you could hope to get back?
I think the Sixers, if Harden's looking to move, I think the Sixers should be after Dame, personally. But that's me,
Okay. Well, in this trade, they have him going somewhere else. Probably more realistic, at least according to like everybody in the media. It seems like
everybody thinks he's going to go to Miami, but
that doesn't mean anything.
Everybody is. I would say like everyone's off-season trade speculations are usually like wrong. Actually,
everybody's off-season trade speculations end up becoming the same thing. You hear something, you perpetuate that. Another place picks that up, and they run the same story, and that's why everybody has Dame going to the Heat. Maybe there's something to that, and maybe there's not. That's just the reality. Is it's Schrodinger's cat right now. Both realities exist, and we'll just find out which one actually comes to fruition. That's our 5-way. Fansided called this a historical trade. It's all just potential right now. Probably, in all likelihood, never actually going to happen, and that's fine. But it gave us a chance to talk about a lot of guys who actually probably are on the move this offseason. So I think it was a better way to do it than just team by team. So
yeah, they're doing something.
We got through a lot of offseason talk for the NBA. Not the time of year where everybody is thrilled about the NBA and all the little minutia, but what they are thrilled about is stuff that's always exciting from the NBA. I mean,
basically,
which is what's coming next.
Yeah, basically summing up that 5-team trade, it's basically like the Heat are awesome. The Blazers are betting on the draft. The Clippers are what we could be team, and the Bulls suck, and the Sixers are basically always going to be like fourth in the East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's all.
Best. The Heat get the best side of that trade, you think? Since
I mean, look, they're going to suck for like several years afterwards, but they're like, yeah, we know. Like,
that's how it is, though. That's how
we're giving up the future here. Yeah,
it's the cost in doing business when you want to win rings.
Yeah, dude. Pat Riley is savvy. He's a savvy dude. Eric Spoelstra is a really good coach. Like I have respect for the Heat.
Mm-hmm. You guys join us on playback. That's how you get your name on the wheel. The wheel. I don't think we're at 30 yet, so we won't do one more spin quite yet. We'll definitely do at least one more after the show. And if we get 3 more likes on the video, we will do. Hey, share this link with your friends. We need 3 more likes on
Yeah,
this video.
3 more
So,
people share the link with their friends for the YouTube video, and then we're there, and then we give away another
whammy.
giveaway, and we give away another giveaway, another gift card.
Plus,
So
I
just do
like
that.
all the segments we do, but I got to admit, when we play Heat Check, it's one of the favorite things that we do around here.
Yeah.
And it seems like the chat really enjoys it too. So if this is your first time here, you're in for a treat. We're doing a little game.
Here's the thing. I'm watching both chats. I'm watching YouTube chat. I'm watching PlayBack chat. You guys know the deal. If you Google it, don't tell me. I know you're not reliable. So if you Google it, don't. And that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. This is the kind of segment coming up where I would say definitely share this with that NBA fan in your life. Tell them to like the video and let them know they could win some sports memorabilia too. So yeah, this is the kind of thing you want to share with your friends because this is Heat Check NBA. Today's version, we are doing which players are the most loyal to their teams. I'm interpreting that as which players stick with the same team the longest.
So like
you might not call that loyalty, but that's
is that like the most years played with a team?
I'll let my graphics do
Most
the speaking
season?
here. I'll also read them out. Let's get to the first one, John. And for audio listeners, this game actually worked for audio listeners, which I like. The video, the graphics that go along with this game are pretty cool. I like that. So again, if you're listening on audio platforms, join us sometime on a live show. Watch us on YouTube after the fact even. You get a little bit extra in the experience, but I'll go ahead and read this off so it works for audio as well. John, your first question out of 10. I want to say I stacked this one to be a little bit easier than most of the times we play Heat Check.
Okay.
I didn't know you'd just be going solo today, but I think it makes it more interesting because now we get John solo challenge. Can he run the gambit? I don't even think that's does that even make sense?
Can I run something? The gauntlet?
Yeah.
The table? Can I just run?
Can he shoot the moon? Can he deliver the groceries?
Hit the cycle? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, 10 questions. Can this man do it? I'm gonna go ahead and say
you said deliver the groceries. That's a good one.
Thanks. I'm gonna put the over under at 7.5. You guys. So I want to hear in the chat. Sound off. Is John going over under 7.5? Answers correct out of 10 on this one. I think he can do it. I'm hoping he gets 10 out of 10, but I'm gonna be disappointed if you get below 8, basically. So first question, John. Bill Russell played for the Celtics for 13 seasons.
This is not that easy. Go ahead.
It's all right, bro. It's all right. Hey, have a little faith. Have a little faith in me. You know? Bill Russell played for the Celtics for 13 seasons, John. Did Julius Erving play more or less with the 76ers? And I will clarify for you, Nats count as the 76ers as well, the Nationals. So,
okay.
The Nats/76ers. I thought I put that in there. Apparently I did not. Yes, Bill Russell played 13 seasons with the Celtics. Did Julius Erving play more or less with the 76ers?
Dude, I don't know. It's close for sure.
We're starting with some old heads. A little old heads.
That's why it's hard. Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
I don't know. I don't know I don't know about Dr. J's early years. I think he was in the ABA. So
would that have been the Nationals at the time? Is that what they were?
Yeah.
So
maybe,
I think that counts that then. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
So, well, no, I think the Sixers. Yeah.
And just so you know, the source, this is straight off of Wikipedia. So take that for what it is. I think it's accurate.
I'm gonna go with yeah. I mean, chat, you guys can chime in. It's a game for everybody. I think Bill Russell played more seasons with the Celtics than Dr. J played with the Sixers. So I'm gonna go with less. Julius Erving played less.
John says that Julius Erving played fewer than 13 seasons for the Nationals and 76ers. And the answer is less. It is fewer. John is 1 for 1. Hey, everybody, round of applause for our guy,
buddy.
John. Keeping the dream alive. 1 for 1. How does it feel, John, to be 100% right out of the gate?
Dude, I mean, you set such a high bar, and then you came in with a question that was like, that wasn't that easy. What are you talking about?
I want you to feel progressively
not that good. If you're asking how I feel 1 for 1, I don't feel that good.
It's okay. That might have been the toughest one, honestly. It might have been because you're so far removed. You never saw either of those guys play live. All right. moving on. We do have some other screwballs in here, if I'm being honest with you, but I'm glad you survived
Yeah,
that one.
sure.
Let's see if he can. I like this bar of 8 correct. Let's see if we can get a B. All right, John. So now we know Julius Erving played for the 76ers for 11 seasons. Did Larry Bird play more or less with the Celtics?
Okay, so
At 11.
Larry Bird versus Magic Johnson, UCLA versus Indiana. I want to say was 19. It was like a late. It wasn't 86 or 88. So it must have been 76 or 78. It wasn't in the early part of a decade. So it must have been 76 or 78. And I want to say Larry Bird played until 90. I think he was on that 92 Dream Team, but he might not have been in the NBA anymore because he was pretty beat up by then. So I want to say he played 12 or 13 seasons total, and he played them all with the Celtics. He didn't play any seasons not with the Celtics. So I think he played more than 11 seasons. So yes, I think he played. Julius Erving played 11 seasons for the Sixers. I think Larry Bird played more seasons than that with the Celtics.
John thinks it's more. Before we get to that answer, I just want to say, I got to credit you, man. It's harder than most people think who just watch the show. You think, oh, it's easy. I'll just answer the questions. It's like you're sitting at home on the couch. Like, I know the answers to these. Yeah. It is specifically hard when you're on the clock, you're on a live podcast. You know that there's going to be dead air if you just take time to fully think, give 100% of your brain capacity to the actual question. I got to credit you for your ability to talk through it, share your thoughts out loud. It's tougher to do than it seems like. And yeah, you think it's more, correct?
Yeah.
Larry Bird played more than 11 seasons with the Celtics. Let's find out if you're right. And you are 2 for 2.
Oh my gosh.
Not confident in himself, but he is 2 for 2 so far. He's only got 8 to go.
I was more confident in that one. I was more confident that he played more than 11 seasons, and I knew he played them all with the Celtics. So
there's plenty of that to come, John. Don't worry. But this one is one of the screwballs, I feel like.
Dude, this is stupid. You're putting the GOAT in here? You can't put the GOAT in.
We're starting very Celtics and 76ers heavy in this heat check, this higher or lower segment. But John, question 3 on the day. You're 2 for 2 right now. Can you keep this train rolling? Larry Bird played for the 76ers for 13 seasons. I want you to answer this question. Did Dolph Schayes, the GOAT of the NBA,
the GOAT Schayes,
did Dolph Schayes play more or less than 13 seasons with the Nats / 76ers? This is the one that I did the slash because
this is the 50s and 60s. He didn't play in the 70s, I'm almost certain. Is that right? Or did he play in the 40s?
While John's thinking, also some new people have jumped on. I want you guys to know we're giving away sports memorabilia gift cards after the show on our private community on PlayBack. Link is in the description. Join us there. The show is on over there on PlayBack as well, so you won't miss anything. And if we
like the video first,
like the video on YouTube, because if we hit 3 more likes, we'll do 2 different giveaways for $25 gift cards instead of just 1. So like the video and head on over to PlayBack. Link in the description. John, back on the clock with you. Larry Bird played 13 seasons. Did Dolph Schayes play more or less with the Nats / 76ers?
Can you tell me what decades he played in or no?
It was black and white times because that's
what I mean, it was before the 60s. It was in the 60s and before, basically. I mean, he couldn't be the GOAT if he didn't play a long time.
I will affirm that belief for you. It was the 60s and before only. He didn't play in the 70s.
Okay, but he did play in the 60s. So he wasn't like one of the biggest players in the 60s, which means I think he must have played in the 50s too. So I'm guessing he played in the 50s and 60s, which means he played maybe, I mean, it could have been 10 years, but I think maybe more than 10 years. And maybe that's why he's the GOAT, because he played a lot of seasons. So I'm just going to, and like back in those days, people didn't really move teams as much. So I'm going to just go with, I don't know.
I'm just going to go with, I don't know. So
I'm going to say Dolph Schayes just played more than 13 seasons. And I'm going to bet that he played all of them with the same team.
All right. So John's official answer is higher. Larry Bird played 13 seasons. He believes Dolph Schayes played for more, or played more years with the 76ers? And the answer is more. John is
Oh
3
my
for
gosh.
3. Feels like shots in the dark, but I had confidence in you all along, John. This one, a little bit more interesting. I think they're all more interesting as they
This
go.
one is close. Yeah.
Yeah, so Dolph Schayes played for the Nets / 76ers for 15
Yeah.
seasons. John, did Magic Johnson play more or less with the LA Lakers?
Magic and Larry Bird's careers are almost parallel. They came into the league the same year. I don't know if they left the league the same year, but did get cut short in his career. So Larry Bird left because he was just friggin' busted, old and busted. And Magic wasn't old and busted, but he left. He was like, I think he wasn't actually in the NBA anymore during the 92 Dream Team because he like had AIDS or had HIV, was HIV positive.
Even though he was on that team, you're saying?
Yes, yeah. So I think he maybe also played 13 seasons, but that's so close to 15 that if I'm like just a little bit off, I'm wrong. So yeah, I'm gonna go with less. I think Magic played less than Dolph Schayes.
John believes that the answer is less than 15 seasons for Magic Johnson with the LA Lakers, and the correct answer is less.
Wow, they did have a parallel career.
They did. They both played 13 seasons exactly. I think it was exactly the same years.
Yeah, they came into the league at the same time. Yeah,
I do have it open.
They played in the NCAA championship together as well.
Oh, actually, false. Larry Bird,
the league 1 year earlier.
79 to 92. Magic Johnson, 79 to 91. Then also in the league again in 96.
Right, because it was basically, he was cleared.
So not exactly the same years, but same amount of time.
Yeah, all they played in the NCAA championship against each other too.
Love it. Next one up, 2 Lakers legends facing off against each other in this one. Both longtime Lakers. Magic Johnson played for the LA Lakers for 13 seasons. We just found that out. But did Jerry West play more or less seasons with the Lakers? John, to you. To go 4 for 4.
I think he played his whole career with the Lakers. Wilt didn't. How many years did he play with Wilt? Because I think that he didn't really play much without him. Dude, this one's close. I don't know why you think these are easy.
I think it's easy because so far you're 3 for 3 and you're crushing it, and I have confidence in my guy.
Jerry West, dude, I don't even know how to think this out because I don't know any reference to the start of his career. Like the only thing I know is like there's overlap with Wilt. Wilt played for the Warriors, the Sixers, and the Lakers, and I think he played around 17 or 18 seasons. And I don't think that Jerry West played like very many seasons without Wilt. So it feels like maybe he played less than 13.
By the way, the way we set this game up, or at least the way I do, is the answer is just on the next slide. Again, if you're not watching on video, you don't know this, but the answer is on the next slide. So I can't give away the right answer one way or the other. I can't tilt you one way more than the other because I don't remember the right answers until I see them pop up on the screen with you.
Yeah.
But I do want to correct myself. I believe you're already 4 for 4. I think I miscounted. I think this is to go 5 for 5, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
I think Jerry West, he played his whole career with the Lakers. The question is, did he play more than 13 seasons? They did. It's more of a standard to play more seasons back then. And Wilt probably played around, I was going to say less, but then I was like, well, Wilt probably played around maybe 10 to 12 with the Lakers. So Jerry West wouldn't have had to play very many seasons without him to play more than 13. So I'm going to go with more. It was more of a standard to play more seasons back then. So I'm going to go with more.
Based off the standard.
And his play style was built for longevity. So let's go.
Back in the good old day, he says, guys played longer. Just, that was just the way they did it.
Guys like Jerry West did, guys who weren't high flying, athletic dudes.
Sure. But he thinks the answer is more because Magic Johnson played for 13 seasons with the Lakers. He thinks Jerry West played more than that.
It's close, though. It's got to be close.
Well, the answer is coming up right after this commercial. Just kidding. We don't have this. The answer is indeed more. John, you are now 5 for 5. Halfway through the game. Haven't missed one yet. I'm giving you 2 questions at a grace that you could lose and still kind of reach the B tier. But I'm putting all my eggs into the basket now. If you're getting all of them right, let's go, baby. Let's run it. Wire to wire, undefeated. John the Mon Coyle. Not going to miss a question here. Jerry West played 14 seasons with the LA Lakers. This is question number 6. My question to you, John, is: did Reggie Miller play more or less with the Pacers than 14 seasons?
Reggie Miller's last season was the year of the Malice at the Palace, which was 2004. So the question is, did he come into the league in 1990 or 91? I don't think so. I'm going to go with less. I think he came into the league later than that. I'm going to go with less.
This is the fastest answer he's given so far. He says
I just know exactly the last year he played because of Malice at the Palace. So
I love it. I love it. John thinks that the answer is less than 14 seasons with the Pacers for Reggie Miller. The correct answer is
more.
Reggie Miller played with the Pacers for 18.
When was the last year he played? Did he come into the league in the 80s?
1987 to 2005.
Sheesh. Wow. I did not know that he came into the league in 1987. That's crazy.
I mean, hey, that's all right. Hey, you missed one now. 1 out of, what is that, 6? I think you're 5 for 6 now.
I already know this one.
Oh, he's quick on the draw. Let me read off the
Actually,
question.
18 is a lot. 18 is a lot.
Let me read off the question for the audio listeners. John, Reggie Miller played for, this is the 7th question, I believe. You're 5 for 6 now. Reggie Miller played for the Pacers for 18 seasons. The question to you, John, is: did your namesake, John, because that's who you're named after, obviously, John Stockton, did he play more or less seasons with your Utah Jazz?
Yeah, he played from 19.
That's a big number, just to say.
18 is a big number. He played from 1984, I want to say. He was the same year as Michael Jordan. Got drafted the same year as Michael Jordan. So 1984.
Fun fact.
I want to say he played till 2001 for sure, which would be 17 seasons. But I think he might have played till 03, actually. I'm pretty sure it's more. He played till he's 40 years old.
Wow.
I guess Reggie Miller must have been close to 40 too. I'm going to go with more. I think it was more.
John, going out on a limb. 18 is a huge number, like you already said. But the correct answer is indeed more. Oh, I forgot to update the slide. Don't worry about that.
Is it 20?
One little
is
bit.
It 20 seasons?
My
initial instinct was that he played 20 seasons.
I was afraid something like this might happen as you make these decks. Sometimes it happens. I have the wrong literature up on the screen right now, but I'll read off what it should be. It is more. John Stockton had 19 seasons with the Utah Jazz. So you were correct. He played till 2003. 19 seasons. You were also right about the year he came into the league. So, John, and everybody else watching, forget about what the screen says. John Stockton played for the Utah Jazz for 19 seasons. Did Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, play for the Lakers for more or less seasons than 18? No, 19. More or less than 19.
I feel like Kobe might have played exactly 20, but let's walk it back. So Kobe retired. Where did I live when Kobe retired? Kobe retired when I lived there. So Kobe, I think he retired in like 2015, 2016. I want to say he retired in 2016 or 2015, one of the two. So did he come into the league in 95 or 96? Yes, that tracks. It was around then that he came into the league because he overlapped with Michael Jordan with the Bulls, who stopped playing with the Bulls in 98. There was like a few years of overlap there. So yeah, I want to say Kobe played 20 seasons. My gut said 20 right away, but my gut said 20 on John Stockton too. So yeah, I think more. I think it's one more. I think John Stockton played 19 seasons. Kobe played 20 seasons.
John thinks it's more. He thinks that Kobe played for 20 seasons. The correct answer is more. Kobe played for exactly 20 seasons with the Lakers. Well done, John. You are now 7 for 8, I believe. 2 questions to go. Reminder to everybody watching, like the video on YouTube. We are 2 likes away from another bonus giveaway to DAP Sports. So 2 more likes will get us 2 more spins on this video before we wrap up for the day. After you like the video, jump into our community on PlayBack. Link is in that chat. We'll be doing that pretty quickly after we finish up the last 2 rounds of this game. But before we do that, we have to finish up this game, and I'm excited to see if John can get at least one of these next two right, if not both of them.
Did you just say we're 2 likes away?
We are, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that incorrect? Okay.
No,
Yeah,
I was thinking about this question. I didn't hear whether you said it or not.
right, correct. We are 2 likes away. So yeah, send this link to your friend. 2 likes. Go. So 2 people go create new YouTube accounts. Go create new Google accounts. You can do that in the time that we have left on the episode, and go like it. And hey, you might win yourself an extra gift card. That sounds like an Adam and Mike move to me, but maybe not. We'll see. It's like we've already done that. We are at least 5 of these likes already. Just kidding. That's not what happened. Anyway, all right, John. Last couple questions here. Last 2 questions. You've missed 1 so far. My original estimate was you'd get at least 8. I'm going to be disappointed if you miss these last 2. So, kind of, showing that you're vulnerable. You can be wrong. But let's see.
Yeah,
if this one...
dude, these are not that easy.
They're not that easy. You're doing a great job.
They're like one season off. You're like, I think you're gonna get 8 to 10. They're like 1 season off of each other.
You've done pretty well so far. 7 for 8's pretty strong. John, question number 9 to you. Kobe Bryant played again. Forget what it says on the screen. I made this pretty quickly, apparently. Kobe Bryant played for the Lakers. For the
Kobe Bryant played
Indiana
for the
Lakers. For the LA Pacers or the Indiana Lakers. Kobe Bryant played for the Lakers for 20 seasons. Did Tim Duncan play more or less with the San Antonio Spurs?
I mean, this is really just about like not team loyalty, but just like who played longer. Because it's just, at a certain point, it's just all people who played for the same team the whole.
That doesn't sound as good in a YouTube title, though.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, Tim Duncan. He was there for the He was there for the championship with Kawhi, which happened in 2014, 2013 or 2014. I want to say 2014. And so did he get drafted in 94? No, that seems like too long. I mean, my gut instantly says he did not play as many seasons as Kobe, but I know he was like close to 40 when he retired as well.
I mean, we're in the thick of it. We're up with the big dogs now.
Yeah, it's like somewhere between 18 and 22 that he played.
Yep.
And Kobe's like right in the middle of that.
Correct.
So it is a wild ass guess. And did he play another season after that championship too?
Maybe I'm like fading the fade here. I'm like, maybe I'm hoping you actually missed this, so the ultimate pressure is really on the next question. I don't know. I guess I'm just making it interesting. No matter what
person. Who's the next person?
You have to wait and see.
Now you're like got me curious about that. Dude, this is tough. I just gotta like say one. So
one more time, I'll repeat the question. Give you a couple more seconds to collect your last moment thoughts. John, Kobe Bryant played for the LA Lakers for 20 seasons. Did Tim Duncan play more or less with the Spurs? Your answer is
Miguel. Nobody's offering me any help in the chat, but Miguel just said that he thinks Dirk is next, which that actually checks out. Dirk probably is next. Actually, that gives me some help though, because if Dirk's next, pretty sure Dirk played more than Kobe, but not a lot more. So I don't think Tim Duncan played more because
that's just a wild theory by Miguel. It's just a wild.
I know, but dude, I'm looking for like anything that will help me with this question here. So if it is Dirk, which I don't know if it's Dirk, but if it is Dirk, I don't think you could put Tim Duncan against Dirk if he played more than Kobe, because I think Dirk played more than Kobe. So, but I don't think either of them played that much more than Kobe. So I'm gonna go with Tim Duncan less.
Wow. John,
I was gonna go more actually. I'm very torn on this one.
He is tilting left, he's tilting right, he's tilting up, he's tilting down. John doesn't know what to think. Your official answer was less. Is that correct, John? Tim Duncan played less seasons.
It's probably one less. It's probably 19 seasons for a bonus point.
The correct answer is less. Tim Duncan played 19 seasons for the San Antonio Spurs. I am not awarding you a bonus point for that. You can count it if you want, but you are going to hit the 8 out of 10 mark no matter what happens with this last question. So for that reason, I applaud you. But the final question is Dirk Nowitzki.
Good call, Miguel.
It was very good. And Felix
Well, because I was trying to think about who it would be, and when he said Dirk, I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. I can't think of very many more players. I mean, we already know LeBron's 20, so.
For the audio listeners, John, the final question in its full form. Tim Duncan played for the Spurs for 19 seasons. Did Dirk Nowitzki play more or less with the Mavericks? John.
Felix, I mean, my initial answer is, shout out to Felix, my NFL fantasy co-manager. Dirk the GOAT played more than Tim Duncan, but let me walk it back real quick. Dirk's farewell season was, I believe, is the same one as Dwayne Wade. So I believe in 2018. So that would have meant that he got drafted in 97. That sounds right. That sounds like it really checks out. 97 to 2018, 21 seasons. Dirk Nowitzki, more seasons than Tim Duncan.
John sounds pretty confident
both
in this
of them, guys. Both of them were with their same team the whole time. So yeah.
He sounds pretty confident. Although, why wouldn't I have used Kobe with his 20 seasons for that final boss match with Dirk?
Because you needed somebody who had more than Stockton. Because you needed to go back to, like, there's not that many people. So you needed to get Kobe to go back to Tim Duncan and then to go up to Dirk.
Man, he's playing 4D chess here, y'all. Let's find out if he's right. John believes that Dirk Nowitzki played more than 19 seasons with the Mavericks. And the correct answer is... drum rolling with one hand is hard. Yeah. Okay. Correct answer is... more. Dirk Nowitzki did indeed play for 21 seasons. I will correct you, though. You were 1 year off on both ends. He played from 1998 to 2019. 98 to 19. One the other direction. Yes.
Yeah.
98 to 2019. But well done, John. 9 out of 10 on this one. Very tough. Very tough.
Which one did I miss again?
You missed,
Jerry West.
I think it was this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Jerry you missed West. Magic Johnson. I think you said fewer, and it was more.
No, it was Reggie Miller. That was specifically the one.
No, it was Reggie. It was Reggie. Yeah. Reggie
did a jump. That was like 18 seasons. I did not know Reggie.
That was a jump too. I hit you with that jump up 4, and
which I should have thought through it and been like, he led the league in 3-pointers for a long time, so he must have played for a long time. But they just didn't. It threw me off because they didn't shoot as many threes back then. So
it goes to show you that none of these are easy, but you went 9 out of 10, but the one that you missed actually I think was the widest margin gap of difference, and you had it the wrong way. Just goes to show you could have missed any of them. They're all very close. You got 9 out of 10.
Reggie Miller was so irrelevant for the first 10 years of his career.
Until he became the 3-point god, until Steph Curry came into the picture,
Yeah.
I mean, that's just factual.
Right, dude, I don't think he actually made that many per game. I think he just shot. I think he just played 18 seasons. That's all it took to be the 3-point leader back then.
He was a good 3-point shooter. Don't take it away from him.
He shot a good percentage for sure. But
I love a good Reggie. The name Reggie. I don't think I've met a Reggie in my actual. I think it was a very popular name for his age group. Not since though.
A lot of people
like to meet a Reggie.
A lot of people have the theory that Reggie Miller shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because why should he? Oh my gosh. You know what? I knew that Reggie Miller, I'm kind of kicking myself now because I knew he took in the 98 Eastern Conference Finals. I knew, or 97 or 98, can't remember which ones. I knew he took Michael Jordan and the Bulls to 7 games. He's the only person who's ever taken Michael Jordan to 7 games. So I knew he was playing in the late 90s and he couldn't have been young. He was pretty relevant by then. So I should have known, but 80, I would have never guessed he got drafted in 87. And I knew his last season was it was 2005, but it was 2004, 2005.
Well, John, you did really well. 9 out of 10 there. A shout out to Miguel for straight up guessing.
Miguel should get a bonus point.
The final person on there, but he is the leader all time. Dirk, by the way, 21 seasons with the same team. So I mean,
once he said it, I was like, I don't think you have very many options left other than Dirk.
Yeah, it's a very solid job. Way to see through the game. Can't make them so easy for you guys. John, well done. 9 out of 10. Guys, I have more good news. We did hit 30 likes exactly on the
go.
video. So we will do 2 spins. John, should we do one here on YouTube
Let's do
and then
one
save
here.
one for on playback? I love that idea. Let's do
Yeah.
that. You have the wheel up, so I
yeah,
assume
you're
you
right.
want to add to that one. Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, now is the time to definitely migrate over to playback. We're going to be doing 2 spins now, pretty much back to back. There'll be a little bit of time in between them, maybe 10, 15 minutes tops. But yeah, we're doing 1 spin immediately. So head on over there, log in, sign up if you have to. That'll put you on the wheel. John, I'm going to add your wheel back to this screen here.
Yeah, good job.
You don't see your name on this wheel on the screen right now. That is because John does not see you in our playback community right now. You have to be here. I think we need to take off people if they are not currently still in. They don't get to be on the wheel just because they were on last time. I don't know if anybody's bailed out. Over there, I see Rose, I see Felix, I see Mike, I see Miguel, I see Adam, Huey, Raylex,
Brown.
Rocketeers, and James Brown. James Brown making the wheel. Nice. Love that.
I think everybody's still here.
Okay, so if you
Kaiser's
don't
not
see
here.
your name on the wheel, but you are in playback, we have quite a few people over on playback right now. Speak up in the chat or forever hold your peace. We're going to spin the wheel in 30 seconds. So, yeah, let us know. Sound off in the
You're
chat.
still on YouTube. I still see people on YouTube. That's fine, but like you're not going to get in the giveaway if you're just on YouTube.
And again, this is the right time to move over because we are going to do one more spin after this. But we're going to sign off on YouTube before we do that. So make sure you get on over to playback now.
Yep.
You can see everything that's happening on the show over there. You're going to not regret the decision to be over there. We're almost at 300 members over on playback. So you could also help us eclipse a really cool landmark. Landmark's
benchmark?
not. Thank you. As soon as I said it, I didn't like it. Anyway. John, who are you going to put your money on while we're waiting for anybody to potentially speak up over in playback? Who are you going to put your money on to win this spin?
Adam says that Romy left. I don't know if Romy actually left. Adam definitely would.
I think
that's a classic Adam move, but I don't see Romy in here either.
I mean, we're gonna make
Romy sound off. I'm not gonna take him off probably, but I don't see Kaiser.
Oh, I don't see Romy either. Romy, you got to sound off.
I don't see Mick Jow anymore either.
Oh boy, Mick Jow. He hoped you win.
He really wanted to win.
So if you are Andrew Romero, if you are Kaiser, or you are, who is the other person we said?
Mick Jow. Michael.
Mick Jow. Michael Lavalier, Lava Alley, whatever it was.
Lavalion.
Lavalion, not here anymore. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're being removed from the wheel unless you type into the chat that you're still here. Sometimes playback gives us an error and we don't see you in attendance, but that you might be there. I think they've fixed some of that though. I haven't seen that happen in the last few times. So, all right, this looks like the group we've got. John, who did you say you're betting on? Who you think's going to get this one? Oh, wait, John. Before you do that, do you think we should, while we're still on YouTube and we just kind of eclipsed the 30 mark, so we're doing 2 spins, should we treat this one kind of like it was a playback spin anyway and do one of our quick games here?
Yeah,
and show the YouTube community how fun it is to be on playback, because on the next spin, we would be doing this anyway. You would know this if you're already a member of our playback community. We go over there and then we play usually like a game or two, little mini games, fun little mini games. And we award people a bonus spot on the wheel if they win that mini game. And I think it's just a little fun wrinkle we do. So, wow, Raylex, I don't know what any of that. Raylex goes, yeah, me, no, I don't know what that means, but let's do a quick bonus game for a bonus spot on the wheel. John, which one or guys in playback, what do you want to
move us over? Let's see. Move us like that. And then let's
here, let's do this. That way, maybe? Oh no,
because I think I need to make it bigger. Yeah.
Maybe nope. I'm messing it up. I'm messing it up more than I'm helping. How about this one? Oh. That could be right if we made that big.
Dude, I can't make it big. Like, that's what it is. Just do the one that I had it on. This one.
Oh, I was just going to say, I got you. Hold on. Let me work.
Why? There's one that works already.
I like this better, though. All right, fine. We'll go to yours. Put it back. You can put it back. What was it? This one? I don't remember which one it was.
This one.
Oh, shit. So go ahead. Go ahead. I'm done touching it. Michael says he wants to play a word game. That's what we're doing since he's the only one who spoke up. word game.
Okay,
So
word
I think
game.
that's the category game, probably is what he's talking about. I assume so, right? Word game. So, John,
Mhm.
what do you want to pick the category, or should I? Or should we let the crowd pick? We need a category like sports team or food or
Those are the main two
something, and then
things
we
Casey thinks about.
yeah, sports teams and foods. Anybody in the chat have a suggestion? Otherwise, I'm going to say sports teams.
Could be
And
any
let's pick a
sports
random
team.
one. Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right, that's what we're doing. We're doing sports team. John, do you want me to send you one, or should I send you one?
You send me one.
Okay. Any
sports team from any sport, fictional or non.
Fictional or non? That can't be. It's gonna be non-fictional.
No, it's more fun if it could be fictional.
It's more fun if they can be fictional. What about if it was like current or past?
Yeah. No, I mean, I was already thinking that.
Okay. All right. I gotcha here. All right. I just texted you the answer.
Got it.
John's got it. Guys, I think you've all done it before, but basically, as soon as we say go, you all can list off the names of sports teams, one per message, but you can put in as many messages as you want. The first person to get the sports team that I have texted John gets the victory, and they earn a bonus spot on the wheel, thus doubling. Yes, technically it's not quite doubling because you've added in an extra into the denominator, but essentially doubling your chances to win a gift card.
Increasing your chances of winning.
Vastly. Vastly increasing your chances to win $25 to DAP Sports, our partner in our prize giveaways. John, we are all set here. So everybody in the playback chat, it only works in playback. If you're in the YouTube chat, we're not even looking at that. So that's why you see on the screen the playback chat. Head on over to playback. We're doing another spin after this. Even if you miss out on this one, head on over there now. On your mark, get set, sports teams, ready, go.
Wow.
Don't everybody go at once. Don't everybody
quick start, guys.
Yeah, usually everybody's a little.
What?
Okay, hold on. That is stupid.
Stop.
Everybody stop. No, it's over. It's over.
It's over. Somebody already won.
How? My question is how. You guys
he's just got a beat on you, dude. Did you send it to our group text? I'm just kidding.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. Adam, the first guess. John, scroll on up to that. I mean, we're getting some other guesses in now, but scroll on up. Oh, you know what? Playbacks, we're doing this we don't normally do it on YouTube. But there's a delay from playback to YouTube. That's why, or from YouTube to playback. That's why it took them a second to get going. But the very first guess is the correct answer somehow. It's probably because I was too obvious about could be present or past team.
Yeah.
Adam nails it with the Expos right out of the gate. That happened on one of our other recent episodes. I think it was the last one. Somebody got one on the first. That's crazy.
First guess.
Should we do one more? Run it back with a different category?
Yeah, because that was not fun.
That was kind of
nice job, Adam. All right, well let's show everybody how it works. I don't on YouTube still. I think that is a trick, but I'll show everyone how it works here. So
that blew my mind.
To do that, I have to remove the.
Adam's a freaking sidekick out there in these streets. Well done, Adam. I think our all-time most winningest participant. Adam has no doubt cracked 200 plus. Oh, way beyond that. $300 in giveaway
maybe
prizes.
4 or 5. I don't know. Yeah,
I would love to hear Adam's estimate on that. The value of prizes he's earned from Triple Cross. He's definitely the best case study we have as far as winnings go. And he didn't win anything on that one other than a bonus spot. But this is how you build wins on top of wins.
This is how it happens. Yeah. So Adam's got a bonus spot on the wheel. Congrats, Adam. Good job.
All right, one more bonus spot. We're still going to do 2 spins on this wheel. One here on YouTube, one on playback after we sign off of YouTube. So, category. Let's go to the. What do you think of our category, John? This is your turn.
I like
About like 90s cartoons or
That seems
I'm
like
gonna
it'll
throw
go
some
so
ideas
quick.
for you.
That'll go
Yeah,
so quick
probably.
though.
Which 90s shows, not just cartoons. Sports movies.
Dude, I think you
Different
know what?
different track
I
and
liked your
field
90s.
events. Ooh,
I
John's a
like your
track guy.
90s ideal. Well, there's only 18 of them, so that'll go quick. So I like your 90s idea. I think I'm going to go with 90s songs.
90s songs. Oh man. Oh, there's a lot of those. There's a lot. No doubt he's gonna pick a popular one that he knows somebody will
Yeah,
eventually
no,
get.
I'm not
How
going to
quick.
pick something like obscure. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's just some artist nobody's ever heard of. It's actually a song that I wrote back when I was 7 years old.
Yeah,
It was pretty
yeah.
cool. I
No, we're
played it
not
on the
doing that.
harmonica once. Don't really remember how it goes. Didn't have any words. Never named it. But did you guys guess that one?
I'm also trying to like put a like that. We have such a like wide group of like people like Rose, and then like Adam, who was like really probably into 90s music. Like he'll go straight to a certain place in 90s music. So I'm like, ooh, I don't want to like give somebody a advantage.
We do have an answer here from Adam while John's figuring out what exactly the game answer will be, the category and the answer he wants to throw out there. Adam said it's been over $500 since the very beginning of his viewership of the show. So he's won over $500 in prizes. So if you guys think like, oh, I don't care about like getting entered to win stuff, like you should, because as long as you just keep showing up like Adam did, because he was at his computer studying to be the nation's next biggest lawyer. Next biggest thing in the legal world.
Law guy. Yeah.
The lawman, Bob Loblog's Loblog. Had him as a little I forgot what show that
Arrested
is.
Development.
All right, there we go. Arrested Development. Yep.
Dude, that's like that's the kind of humor that only Arrested Development does. Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Love Ron Howard. Anyway, yeah, Adam, he's been on almost every show we've done in the last, I don't know, 6 months plus, probably. And yeah, he's won over $500. That's about $100 a month in winnings. So
the other person who won the other spin today, Felix, is the OG. He's been watching since before anybody else.
Probably our longest running. Yeah, for sure is. So, yep. All right. So, well done there, Adam. And we're moving on to the next little mini game for another bonus spot on the wheel. John, have you? Yep, he has decided it is a 90s song. And he texted me the answer, so I have the key, if you will. The answer key, not like the key to unlocking that. That was confusing. John, I'll give you the honors. You tell people when to go.
All right, the category is 90s songs. I did not pick something obscure. It's something that most of you will know if you know any 90s music at all. And ready, set, go. Here we go.
If you're watching on YouTube, the only reason it's not going yet is because these people are all on playback watching, and there's a little bit of a delay, but we should see some 90s songs rolling in any second now.
I mean, yeah, somebody came out with like a great song, but that's not it.
Can I just say I got
somebody just said P?
Just like kind of first glance, I was like, what? I'll just say that much. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought we had another similar situation. Also, these games, John and I tend to give out somewhat subtle clues, I think.
Yeah.
During the process, just to make sure it doesn't go too long. Adam definitely leading in volume. Huey got
Adam
in a
is
couple
leaning into the boy band. I mean, I guess he did Britney Spears too.
I will.
Done.
Huey Lewis in the news. Winner.
Ding, 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 ding. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Just stick to the rivers and the lakes that you used to.
That was a good impression of TLC. It's perfect.
That was Left Eye.
Yeah.
Sorry, she's grungy like that.
So, yep, game over.
Yep.
Huey won.
Yep.
TLC, waterfalls. Good job.
Well done. We're going to update our wheel here. Huey gets a second bonus spot, and we're going to do our first spin here on YouTube for the few people who are still hanging out on YouTube. Last call. Make sure you head on over to Playback now. The link is in the chat. You can get in on all these mini games we do, and we're going to do one more spin over there. I think maybe we'll do a couple more mini games and one more spin over there, John. Is that probably right?
Yeah.
I feel like we got to give something special to the playback people for hanging around this long. Got to give them a chance to get more bonus spots. I like doing the mini games. And this, I don't want to leak anything, but we have
Don't leak
different games we
anything.
play
That
besides just
sounds
this.
unhealthy.
Oh, gross.
What were you gonna say? Why did I interrupt there?
No, I was just gonna say we have other we have different games that we play. This is just one of them. Maybe we do a little host trivia or something. We get a little deep. Maybe we reveal some secrets about ourselves.
Some deep cuts. Secrets.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, John.
Let's spin this thing.
Wait. Did we? Yeah, we didn't spin yet, did we? So okay.
Nope.
Who do you think who it's gonna land on? Who do you think it's gonna be?
You know what? I like Huey with that extra spot.
I am gonna think similarly. I'm gonna go with the undisputed GOAT right now of TCP winnings.
Volume leader.
Adam. He has 2 spots on the wheel. He's won a lot before. Feels like the wheel likes him. I'm gonna go with Adam. I don't usually say Adam either. It's fun to root against.
We try not to bet on Adam. We try to not bet on the GOAT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's go, Huey.
I wish I would have looked
or
at
whoever.
who.
I'm happy with whoever, man. Hey, there we go.
Oh, just edged
the man with the biggest. This is the man with the biggest win. He's been a jersey winner. Not all of our jersey winners are like regulars on the show, but Richard is. True. Congrats, Ralix, Richard, winning $25 gift card, DAP Sports. I mean, Felix and Richard, the winners tonight. They know what to do, but yeah, you guys know. Email triplecrosspodcast@gmail.com. I'm going to go ahead and hard out for the audio and just end the YouTube because I don't think anybody's there anymore. I think it's just people who are on both at this point. So if you are listening to the show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, the last 20 minutes probably made no sense to you, but I guess still give us 5 stars because you listened to them anyway. And so it must have been somewhat entertaining. And that's it. That's the pod. We'll see you next week. Bye. You're nothing.